the now and here. Gaming tales you need to hear. Laugh and shout and sometimes sneer. Memories from all those years. Console wars and secret tips. Tips and tricks from pixel trips. News that pours from gaming sips. Critical minds and candid lips. And Generation X gaming show. Tune in wherever thoughts flow. Rant and rave with words that glow. Weekly stories make them go.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another day, another week, another episode of Generation X Gaming, a weekly podcast that goes over a few of the top stories in the past week, and we rant along the way. I'm your host, 30 and Still Gaming, and joining me each and every single week is Sgt Mclusky. What's going on, bro?
Long week. Long week.
It's always a long week, but yet it's a short week. We're already in February, bro. Like, we're already in February. Like,
Yeah,
what happened to the first month of the year?
We chewed through it. Easily we chewed through it.
I've already been, because my New Year's resolution.
This is the short month.
Yeah. My New Year's resolution was I was going to start working out, right?
But is the building done?
Yeah, the building got done before the New Year.
So then what are you waiting for?
I'm not waiting anything. I'm telling you the story.
All right, go ahead.
All right. So my New Year's resolution was to start to work out. And I said the first month, I was like, I'm just going to stretch, right? Just to get my body, right? We're done. I'm already working out now. Like, we're past the month of January where I was stretching, getting my body back into like where I can move and stuff. I can actually like touch my back now. Okay. My shoulders are still
So you're doing actual stretches. You're not doing the little
stretch.
Stretch.
I'm doing 20-minute stretches, just 20-minute stretches. Right. And
like
I did that
like 5-minute abs. You're doing 20 minutes.
No, I'm doing 20-minute abs. Yeah. Right. So I'm doing all stretches for the entire month. I missed 5 days. I did every day of January. I just missed 5 days. Right. And then February started and I started lifting weights again. I haven't lifted weights. It's got to be 15 years, maybe 17 years. Right. I haven't lifted weights. So now I started lifting weights again. And let me tell you, from just stretching for that 1 month and now lifting weights, I feel like a completely different person. Like, I have way more energy. I just feel much better. My wife's been telling me for the longest time, you should do this, you should do this, you should do this. And now I'm actually doing it, and I can't believe it's already February, because I was like, holy shit, I'm lifting weights already. I was like, oh, I'll just take the first month. I'm just gonna stretch the first month. So there you go. Generation X Gaming, weekly podcast, goes over a few of the top stories from the past week, and we rant along the way. We're live Thursday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern, right here on YouTube. We're usually on Twitch, but they still haven't fixed my internet, so I got to make a phone call tomorrow to see.
Are we still on that?
We're still on that. But on today's show, we're going to be covering Highgard. We're going to be covering Arc Raiders. We're going to be covering YouTube. We're going to be covering MindsEye. We're going to be covering Borderlands, Borderlands 4. We're going to be talking about Overwatch. Not Overwatch 2, Sarge. They dropped the 2. It's just Overwatch now. We're going to talk about Ash of Creation. We're going to talk about Epic. We're going to talk about Sony a little bit. And we're also going to talk about Project Genie. And then if we have some time at the end of the show, we're going to talk a little bit about Starfield, or I should say Star Wars in Starfield. And other than that, that's it. If you guys like the show, make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you're not subscribed. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. You can also listen to the past broadcasts over on Spotify. That's about it. All right, Sarge, let's get to, where the hell is it? Let's get to what we've been playing. All right. Another week. Don't start with Space Marines 2. Did you play anything else besides Space Marines 2?
I mean, it's been Warhammer 40K for most of the week. Like, I played the Dawn of War Definitive Edition. I'm playing that online.
A whole Space Marines mood.
Yeah. Because I look at what Saber can do, and I see all the IPs, how they can be done almost in the same type of game style, and it would be a good game, right? So Definitive Edition I've been playing, Dawn of War 2 I've been playing, I'm playing online against people. It's more fun that way. I'm still playing Dome Keeper. I'm almost done. With it. I almost unlocked all the things I want to unlock and try out. It reminds me kind of like a Dig Dug. Remember how Dig Dug was?
Yep. Yeah.
It's Dig Dug with a mini game inside it. Like you got to do Dig Dug and then you got to go to the top and defend yourself. Transformers, yeah. That would say if Saber, seeing what Saber did for 40K, I definitely think Saber can do something for Transformers without a doubt. Right? They should just go and knock on Hasbro's door and go, "Hey, you guys want someone to care about your shit? Give us 3 years. We'll make a game and someone will care about your shit again." But I've no time. The time's been a factor recently because it's season and we're busy. So, what else was I playing? I got on to play Fallout because I wanted to see
Which Fallout?
Fallout 4. I wanted to see if the update was automatic to fuck up my game, and apparently the update's not automatic, but there is some type of graphic enhancement that happened because the game looks different now.
Okay.
So I'm not sure if that's the anniversary edition that retroactively went in.
Maybe they
because I did not download the anniversary edition. So I'm hoping that it's not it because
didn't you have to buy the anniversary edition? I don't think the anniversary edition is free.
Well, then why the fuck did I have a 40 gig update?
That's the upgrade for the visual stuff.
That's what it is? Okay.
Yeah, I believe so. I don't think the anniversary edition is
40
free.
gigs a lot.
Chad, is that true? Is the Fallout 4 anniversary edition free for people that own the game, or is that buying the game?
I think it was discounted, if I remember correctly. I think it was discounted.
I don't know. I mean, the only Fallout I've gone back and played is Fallout 76, which I still have to go back and play since they added the new map.
Yeah. But as far as outside that, nothing at the moment. Just those have been the ones I play because I have two 3-hour windows, one before work and one after work. That's kind of like how I break it down. Like 2 to 3 hours, I have to play something, and then I gotta do other shit.
Yeah, I do the same thing around like after I get off stream. If I'm not editing something, I'll play a game for like an hour and a half, and then after we're done streaming, or when I stream, that's the time I play.
Yeah, but
it's not great. Thank you.
But I will say that I did play.
Because he says, I don't know, but all I know is it's shit.
I did play Space Marine 1 to get the feel of the controls.
Yeah, that was on Game Pass as well, right?
Yeah, since Space Marine 2 was coming out. This was actually like the last week. And then compared to Space Marine 2, I don't even know what Space Marine 1 is. Like that's how drastic the difference is.
I mean, I haven't played Space Marines 1 in like
but
it's been a minute.
Like Space Marine 1 looks good. Don't get me wrong, it looks good. But what they did in Space Marine 2 is like I don't even know what Space Marine 1 is. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, it's $60 for the anniversary edition.
Yeah. Well, then I guess the graphic enhancement came free.
I think the graphic enhancement
40 gigs a lot for something that I just was it's crazy. But they did a nice job, bro. I got to give it to Saber. If Saber was doing this for fun, because they're used to making like these car animation games, and you know what I mean? Like if they were doing like Space Marine for fun, just to like see what their chops could do, they got some chops.
Well, I mean, Toxic Commando. I mean, I wasn't gonna bring that up, but we could bring it up on stream. But they're making it, right? So Saber Interactive is publishing that as well. I like a lot of their games. Space Marines 2, I've only played what we played last night and what we played in the pre-log. So maybe a total of like 5.5 hours of the game. It visually looks fantastic. I think the game looks stunning.
That's how I imagine if I'm playing a Space Marine versus Tyranids, man. That's what it's got to look like.
But you know what this makes me want now? Because I'm playing it on Game Pass. Once we're done playing it, I kind of want to get it for PC so you can do the 10-man, 12-man, like.
Well, by the time you're ready, by the time you're ready to have a PC that can run it the way you want it to run it, it'll be on sale. You'll be able to get it. You know what I mean?
Or I can still play it on Game Pass.
Well, what I'm saying is I don't know. The whole PC thing is still up in the air. What's happening this year? Like, did you watch the video I sent you about Colt Eastwood?
No,
No,
I haven't watched it.
Xbox is saying they might release their new Xbox, the Omni something, this year, and then the other one's supposed to come out like a little bit later, like in November.
What is this one going to do?
Well, one's a box. That's why I sent you the text message that says, "Are you tired of being right yet?" It's a box that sits underneath your TV, and you get to play Xbox games. It's a little teeny. It's like a little.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah.
So it's the box I've been talking about for 6 years.
Yeah, not an Xbox upgrade, but there's
just a small box that goes underneath the television set.
Yeah. There's that one, and then there's the other one called Magnus or something.
Which is the one that comes out years from now.
No, it says it's coming out. It might come out this year.
Magnus is coming out this year.
This is why I think Colt Eastwood's crazy. I don't know where he gets his information from.
Krebsy says, "Didn't Colt also say Redfall was great?" I don't know. I don't watch Colt stuff, so
I don't watch his reviews. I'm just I'm going for the track record here. He usually has information that's decent, but this whole day was crazy. He started saying crazy stuff. Like I thought he got hit in the head, and he started talking about Xbox stuff.
How come nobody chat? How come no one submitted that? I didn't see that.
Because nobody's watching. Because they all know that Colt Eastwood's crazy, and no one listens to what he says. I don't know if it's true. I was trying to get confirmation from anybody else.
Let me see.
Yeah, OEM soon, yeah, and the Magnus later. But they were talking about this year.
11 hours ago. Is 2027 the year of Xbox? Unlocked clips. The Magnus 2027. But there's no like news stories. It's just all Xbox games.
I'm not taking one guy's.
I'll wait until they actually have an actual story about that.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's fact, but the fact, the discussion is that we're going to be stuck in the same generation for 5 or 8 years now, and then in the same breath they're like, we're going to release a new console. I'm like, I don't understand.
Well, I don't know if you guys remember me saying this, but a couple years ago, before they came out with the Xbox in 2020. I said, I think it was in 2018 or 2019, I said they have to get it out before PlayStation. If they don't, then they're going to be competing with them, and then they'll lose to them, is what I said, and which is what's happened. They're like 3-1, 4-1 type of thing, which Nintendo's always done it. Like they drop it years before the other guys, so they're the only new system on the market, right? So that's why the Switch 1 did really well, and so on and so forth, right? So this is what they did with Switch 2 again. Switch 2 is announced, and PlayStation 5 or PlayStation 6 and Xbox, whatever, is not coming out for 2 years, at least 2 years, right? So now I said back then, I was like, Xbox should launch it ahead of time. That way it's like Nintendo, and then a year or two after is the Xbox, and then a year or two after that was PlayStation. So they're not all competing at the exact same time. But here we are. If they do release it, I don't know, man. I'm not excited about anything. Look, don't get me wrong. I love my Xbox. Okay, but I don't love Xbox.
You don't sleep with it. You don't. Sleep
I don't love Xbox, right? So when they announce the next system and they show the next system, I'm not going to be getting it because you screwed me over. We're 5 years into the cycle. I'm still waiting for games that are optimized and whatnot for the system that we have.
That's correct.
Which is not very many, right? Mo will come in now and say, "Oh, there's plenty," but 5 years into the cycle, we're still waiting for games that are like blow me away. Right.
Well, if you like if you like car porn, you know,
yeah.
If you like
Space Marines 2 looks great. Maybe Forza Horizon 6 is going to look awesome, fantastic. 5 years, 5 years. What? So now the next systems come out. PlayStation 6 comes out. The next Xbox Magnus comes out. How many years do I have to wait for that cycle before games start being made for that? We hear stories all the time about game developers like, we still haven't put all the stuff into this box yet. What are you waiting for? Yeah, what are you waiting for? So I'm not really too excited. So even if it is true or not, I'm not excited about it. I am excited though if it is a small little box underneath the thing, because then everyone can go fuck themselves because I said it.
That's what the OEM is. The OEM is just a box that you play your games on.
What is it called? Xbox OEM?
Yeah.
The next gen Xbox console could launch in 2027, but Microsoft has already dug itself a hole, is what this says.
Yeah. Well, because it's not a console. It's a
streaming box.
Yes.
It's a cloud streaming
Yes.
box. It's an
Yes.
Apple TV. It's a Fire Stick TV.
Yes.
Yeah, but with games.
Yeah.
And they're gonna sell it for like $100. Please tell me they sell for $100, because then I'll be like, I told you I was gonna. And then they'll sell it with a controller with the actual box for $100.
$100, and then a controller takes a buck and a half. That's crazy.
I think if they sell it, I said it 6 years ago. If they sell a little thing with the controller, $100 with 3 months of Game Pass. That's what I said.
But it'll be a buck and a half now.
That could be.
Controllers gotta be at least $50 now.
Yeah, it could be. All right, so we're playing Space Marines 2, right? What do you like about Space Marines 2? What don't you like about Space Marines 2?
I mean,
I only have one thing bad to say about Space Marines 2. The business model and the fucking camera's too close. I wish it was just a little farther back.
I mean, the camera being too close isn't that big a deal because they want you up in the combat. I think I don't have anything negative to say yet because I haven't learned all the moves to the guys yet. Like I'm picking a guy. The guy I'm picking is difficult to use, so I haven't gone online to look at someone play it yet. But I probably will before next week, because when you play the heavy soldier, you don't have a melee weapon. So you have to know what moves cause the enemy to do the move that they're going to do that lets you counter. There's a way to set it up to where, how do I explain this correctly? All I'm doing is shooting. I'm using the heavy bolter, and I switch over to plasma, right? And when the plasma overheats, I just switch back to the heavy bolter, and when that one overheats, I switch back to the plasma, and I'm always firing something, right?
I like the melee, man. The melee feels
no.
good.
I get it. But I picked this one on purpose. I wanted it on purpose because I wanted to. It reminded me of Gears, and I wanted to see the gunplay against Tyranids, like what you can actually do. And if you know how to counter or cause them to use a counter move, then you can use the pistol move where you do the extra damage. It does the little, I don't call it a quick time, but it's like I don't know what you want to call it, but it's like a power move, right? Like you see the little reticule appear on the guy, and if you hold the left trigger, it zooms out real quick and it shows you pointing the gun at him and it blows his head off. Like,
oh, see, I didn't do that once last night.
Yeah, that's a move. I
didn't know what that symbol was. It's like a little triangle, right? It's a little triangle with a circle or something inside of it.
The triangle is letting you know that he's about to be critical, which means you get to do the finisher.
Oh, okay.
When you see the triangle, it means that he's about to go into critical.
I just looked at them when they turned red. That's when you knew you could finish them.
Well, the red flashing, yes. But they show you the triangle so you don't do a crazy move beforehand, because if you do the crazy move, it'll kill him past the point of you being able to do the finisher. So the triangle sets you up to, like, don't do a power move. Like, just do a move, you'll get the crit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
It's so you don't overdo the move. Like, because if I'm shooting up the plasma gun as a charged shot when he's got the triangle on him, I'll kill him, instead of being able to go over to him and use an execution move that gives me the energy back.
You know what's funny about the game? I've always said this: if you have an IP that you like, but it's just another game, like for instance, Overwatch is Marvel Rivals is Overwatch, right? But people like Marvel Rivals better than Overwatch because of Marvel. This is Gears of War, right?
Well, here's how I feel.
This is Gears of War, but it's in the Space Marine universe, and it feels a much better game than Gears of War.
Well, I'm not saying it's a much better game. It takes what Gears did and does it better, which is a good thing. It's not because it beats Gears. It's enough time has passed. Somebody needs to take the skeleton of what Gears is and improve on it.
And I'm okay with that.
Saber,
right?
look, Saber, I have to think that Saber sits in the office and they sit around and they have to say this before they start. They go, okay, we're going to try this, right? We're going to do this IP, right? And they have to sit there and they have to say, how do we make this IP fun? How do we make it
IP's
fun?
Fun already? How do you make the IP fun?
Right. How do you make this fun? Because it could get tedious and boring. So I would think that they zeroed in on the move sets first, because you're fighting hordes and hordes of Tyranids, and they're all basically melee with a few, like, so you have to do melee. So all the crazy moves that you could do with the power sword and the chainsaw, It's all up close. It's all visceral. The screen is shaking. The sound effects is good. Like, it's just fun. Like, if if Saber did a Transformer game, I would probably buy it. Like,
Oh, 100%.
that's, you see what they're doing. Like, you see they're concentrating on the actual move sets of the characters. It's not just push F for fire. Like, that's not it. It's not it.
Feels Good says, my issue with Space Marines 2 was it being a bit bare bones at launch and the servers were bad, and assuming there's a lot more content now. This is why we never played it.
Exactly.
This is exactly why we never played it, Feels.
Exactly.
We didn't buy it when it came out 16 months ago. We're playing it now because it's on Game Pass. Otherwise, we still wouldn't buy it because it was on sale for $26 a couple weeks ago, a month ago. And both me and Sarge called each other up. We're like, you're gonna buy it? We're like, no, not yet. Right? I'm okay with. I never said Space Marines 2 was a bad game. I said it looks great. But my problem with the game was that it wasn't a full game. They said it wasn't a live service game, but let me tell you something.
Sure seems like a live service game.
Sure seems like a live service game, right? Another thing, real quick, Elite says, whoa, hold your horses. Space Marine 2 beats Gears of War 4 and 5. I'll give you that much. I'm not saying. You're misinterpreting what I'm saying.
I told you this was going to happen. This is
Okay.
why you have to correct what you say.
Yeah, you're misinterpreting what I'm saying. I'm saying what Gears is. Gears is a great game, okay? But they've taken the recipe of Gears and they've put a coat on it of Space Marines.
And it's not a skin.
Right.
It's a reimagined
it's
version.
It's a reimagination of Gears, but in the Space Marines universe.
I mean, they move the same.
It's amazing. It's an amazing thing because if you like this IP,
I mean, the combat roll is the same.
Yes, the combat roll is the same. The way you move,
but I will say this though, because
there's no cover shooter in this.
Well, right. There's no cover shooter. Also, because we haven't played that long, I watched the move sets of the other people because they've unlocked other things in their tree, in their skill tree. So I'm watching like the chaplains and the captain guys like do a dash move and a stab. It's like all these other moves that are in the game. It's like you haven't seen half the moves yet because we just started. Right. And I'll be honest with you, I picked the shittiest guy to start with on purpose. Like I did on purpose. I'm picking a guy that has no melee weapon. And I'm fighting guys all. Let me tell you how many times I played today. And I ran out of bullets. And I'm desperately trying to find ammunition because I've got no melee weapon. Right? So I'm just doing combat rolls and I'm trying to get near my other guys so I wouldn't die. Because it's you say there's ammo boxes everywhere. I'll tell you why there's ammo boxes everywhere.
Yeah, well, I figured why.
I'll tell you why.
It still doesn't make sense to me. It still doesn't make sense to me where you have the full ammo crate there and you pick it up, right? Then you're done. Right? Let's say you're playing on the hardest difficulty. You kill all the things there. There's an ammo crate there. You cross the bridge, and then there's an ammo crate again. And you're like, why?
Okay, so here, I'll explain it. All right, so I'm not 100% sure, but from what I've learned from playing Siege, is we're playing. What level are we playing? What
we were playing normal.
Right, we're playing. We sure wasn't easy. It was normal, right?
No, it was normal.
Okay, so what I'm thinking is on the normal setting, the crate that you reload from is unlimited. Okay.
But when you get higher,
when you play the higher levels, when you take ammo from that crate, the ammo actually comes out of the crate.
Gotcha.
Like the ammo comes out and you see an empty space now. So once all the ammo is taken out, it's done. Now here's the other thing that you didn't see. And I don't know if I want to tell you, but I think it's worth talking about. Right. I did see the PvP match section, which is just like Gears. Okay. And then I did see the PvE section, which is the Siege mode. Right. And what I noticed with the Siege mode, when you walk up to the console, there's like this huge page of shit you can buy, like 30 items. You have a minute to decide. You have a minute. Go buy something. And I'm like, I can't even read it before the next wave starts, but I got a few of them in there. So you can buy Imperial Guard, like 50 guys. So
you can
50
buy
guys,
like NPCs to help you.
You buy NPCs to show up on the map.
So it's sort of like a tower defense type of thing.
Yeah, but in the 40K universe, you're buying little security guys.
Horde mode. It's a horde mode.
Basically, yeah.
Okay.
Yep. And then I saw NPC Marines on the map.
I think that's cool when we play through the game, and then all of a sudden you see like the tanks roll up, and you see that. I love that stuff. Even Halo did it back in the day. Yeah,
it's done well.
Yeah,
it's just done well, right?
Yeah.
Again, now you know what I'm saying. Where if you do Battlefield 40K, it's a done deal.
Right.
It's a done deal. You have all the classes you want to pick from. You're in a squad of guys. Everyone picks a class.
I said it last time we were
Done
playing the
deal.
game. You take a Helldivers game and you make it into Warframe, where you have 3 or 4 Space Marines come down and you go up against their enemies. You know what I'm saying? Like, that would be a grand game as well. But you can also do that with Star Wars, which they have mods for. And we'll talk about mods a little bit later. But yeah, that's basically the only game I've played. I played that in Hightail. I've been really enjoying Hightail as well. Hightail is, let me tell you, man, it's early access. It's been such a ride for Hightail. It went from being developed for 10 years to being closed down 2 months later, coming out, and now it's like skyrocketing. People are making so many mods for this game. The Minecrafters that are coming over, that have been playing Minecraft for literally like 12 years, are starting to play this, and you can see some of the people that make videos on it. They're like, they still love Minecraft, but they're trying Hightail, and they're like, oh, it's almost like growing up from one tier to the next. Like they're leaving Minecraft to go to the next tier.
Well, you had them there, but you really weren't improving it. You weren't improving Minecraft. You were just leaving it as Minecraft.
Basically, what I see happening is that Hightail is going to increasingly catch up to what Minecraft is, and then completely surpass it within the next 2 years.
I mean, that's pretty quick. Maybe 3, but 2 years is quick, bro.
Well, I say 2 years because this Hypixel is the group that made the best servers that were on Minecraft, and then they made this game. And now that they're actually making it, and they're moving so fast. And I've said this in my talks.
That's what you need.
Well, I'm saying this in my talks because
guys
the game was done in 2021, so they're starting back to where the game was almost done for their version, and then they sold it to Riot Games, and Riot Games just sat on it because they wanted to make a new engine and whatnot. But now that they brought it back to here, they're moving so fast, and they're also grabbing the people that want the game to succeed, and they're making mods, and then they're rewarding those people that make mods, and it's like this keeps feeding itself, and it's gonna be a fantastic game, and much faster than what Minecraft is, because Minecraft is a corporation. This is a small studio that is hungry.
Yeah, but the corporation is fine in collecting money. With all their microtransactions, they're fine sitting there collecting all the money until you're not the top dog on the block anymore.
Well, we could go to the first story, what I want to talk about. And are you done? Any other games you've been playing?
No, I did. That's everything.
All right, so let's go to the top stories. Speaking of Hightail to Minecraft, right? Like where they're competing, even though they're different games, but they're competing with the player base. I want to talk about Overwatch. Okay, Overwatch just announced yesterday that they're dropping the 2, right? In the colossal overhaul, right? The Reign of Talon begins with 5 new characters dropping next week. Okay, 5 new characters. Now, I don't know. I hate talking like this because I have to say it, and it sounds like I'm being conceited, but I told you so. I said things that I think this would happen. I said when Marvel Rivals came out, I said Marvel Rivals to succeed needs to have as many heroes as possible, right? And they said that, they're only putting, I think it was like, at the time, it was like 6 heroes for the entire year. I said, double that. They have to put 1 a month. People said, no, it's not possible. I said, if they want this game to succeed, they have to put 1 a month. And they did. They changed it. Halfway through the year, 4 months in, they said, by July, we're going to have 6 characters out, and then we're going to do 1 every month. So they had 12 characters come out last year. Okay. Overwatch has been out for 10 years. 10 years, and they put their original cast out, and every year they did about 3 heroes, right? So they had their original cast, and then every year about 3, maybe a little bit more than 3, but the average is 3 heroes a year. All of a sudden, Blizzard was just like, oh, God, we're making a lot of money.
Yep.
We got nobody. We don't have to do anything, right? Feet up on the desk.
Yep.
And all of a sudden, not original. Marvel's like, what about if we make an Overwatch? And they're like, okay. But the difference is, let's make it third person. Why make it third person? So you can see the skins that you're going to buy.
That's
right. So you have this base of people that love Marvel, regardless of what Hollywood, the MCU is dying, and all this other people, right? People love Marvel. They want to play the Marvel characters. So they made Overwatch, and they put a shit ton of characters in, and a whole crap ton of skins that are selling like hotcakes. Okay. So now Overwatch is like, oh shit, right? Overwatch 2 was supposed to come out 2 years ago or whatever, 3 years ago now. It's supposed to have single player. It's supposed to have story mode. It was supposed to have all these things.
All the talk. Now somebody's eating now someone's eating Blizzard's lunch.
Right.
Now all of a sudden they wake up out of a coma.
Now, I think this is awesome, right? Competition. I literally made a song called Blizzard Has a Rival, which is Marvel Rivals, right? And they have to get their shit together, which now it seems like they're getting their shit together because now they have to wake up. Now they have to rub the crust out of their eyes like, wait, it's like they woke out of a deep trance. Like, what's happening? Oh, we got to compete now, and they have to compete. So
yeah, but the fact that it's blatantly obvious, it's blatantly obvious that you had to wake up and start doing a job now. Where beforehand you didn't give a shit. You sat on that game for 5 years. You didn't give a shit.
Right. And now they're putting 5 brand new heroes in next week, and they're putting another 5 heroes in for the rest of the year. So they're putting 10 heroes out for the rest of the year. And you wonder to yourself, like, why couldn't they do this before? Because they didn't have to.
Right. Because they didn't have to.
Right. They didn't have to.
That's correct. That is correct.
Minimal viable product works until you have competition. And this is why I think Hytale is great for Minecraft, because Minecraft, even though it's one of the biggest games in the world and people love it, I love Minecraft. But now that Hytale's out, Minecraft's got to wake up. They got to be like, well, we can't just sit here and add a little baby piglet or one mob every time, because Hytale is now adding this thing and then that thing. And everyone's like, well, how come this game is brand new and it has this, and Minecraft, you still have version 1. So that's what's happening right here as well, right? Overwatch and Rivals are competing. Competition's fantastic. We as gamers, what's the word? We thrive from this because we're getting more stuff that's actually better for us to play. It's amazing to me that it took a year, just 1 year, Marvel Rivals being out, and Overwatch is like, oh shit, we have to compete now.
Yeah, but it's so blatant. How do you sit back and you think you're the jewel in the crown, and then you finally realize that everybody's not like you, and they're looking to improve on what's out there, and then finally someone does, and then like you said, you came out of a coma, right? You guys didn't give 2 shits about Overwatch. You guys haven't come out with an IP,
right,
in a decade, and so now we're going to wake up. Right. So I guess the moral of the story is every game that's come out and is basically sitting on their ass and sitting on their hands. Someone to come out with a version of a game like that to get the rest of these guys to wake up.
That's why Nintendo sues, because they don't want to work. They just want to keep making it.
Well, Nintendo doesn't have Nintendo just sues everybody into oblivion. That's just the way Nintendo works. I don't like roadmaps, by the way. I don't care what the roadmap says.
Yeah.
But let's back up.
I brought this up. Let's talk about the roadmap just to show you that they have the more characters.
But let's back up. Like, let's not say that they tried hard, because coming up with Jetpack Cat is not really you trying hard. That's like saying I made a cat with a jetpack and you typed it into ChatGPT and asked, what should I name him?
Yeah. Jetpack Cat has to be right. Well, first of all, their characters, very, very sus for their characters, okay? Because I don't know their names, so pardon me, I don't give a shit either. Okay, Jetpack Cat, I can remember the name because, well, obviously by just looking at the picture, it's a cat and it's a jetpack. That's Jeff the Land Shark. Okay, they saw what Jeff the Land Shark was doing in Marvel Rivals, and they said, "What can we do? What about if we put a cat with a jetpack, like Cat in the fucking Hat?" Okay, so you have Jetpack Cat as Jeff the Land Shark. Then you have this girl right here in the orange. I don't know her name. Okay.
Doesn't matter.
And she reminds me of, she doesn't look like her, but she reminds me of Jean Grey. Okay. Of the Phoenix. Okay. And then you have this guy right here in the middle. Now he doesn't have the same move sets, but his whole backstory is like Winter Soldier. Now I get it. You want to copy over and make your style. What do they got over there? Right. Obviously Marvel Rivals copied Overwatch. Okay, they said, how do we take our existing characters and give them the same things? They already have powers, but how do we make them like these characters over in Overwatch? Give us a starting point. And now Overwatch is just going back over to them going, wait a minute, they have Jeff the Land Shark, we have Jetpack Cat. They have Phoenix, we have, and they're just going back, and now they're stealing from each other. They're just constantly just stealing from it, which is great. I don't give a shit. I just think
it's great because Nintendo's not involved. Right. It's fun for everybody until Nintendo gets involved. Don't get Nintendo involved. We're good.
Yeah. Worst thing. Watch. They're going to use Jetpack Cat and all the promotional material and stuff going forward. But yeah. Anyway, so there you go. If you like Overwatch, or maybe you stop playing Overwatch.
It's Overwatch 2. It's Overwatch 2. I don't care that they dropped the 2.
Well, I actually said this years ago. I said it's stupid that they put a 2. I said they should have just kept it as Overwatch. Just like I said with Destiny. They should have never said Destiny 2. They should have just said Destiny. And they should just put the title, the next thing that they came out with, not Destiny 2 title, and it should have just been Destiny. 10-year Destiny.
That's because you needed a sequel to sell copies. And if people were just told Destiny in the marketing, they were like, "Well, it's just Destiny. Why would I buy it?"
Yeah, it's the next expansion for Destiny.
Yeah, I understand that, but back then, you needed to have the 2 in order to move the market, to have people go, "Oh, it's a new game. Here's my money." That's how it worked. Now, with all the roadmaps and everything, live service things, you just give a name and that's it. Then you put a title it afterwards. That's it.
No, I didn't forget they had a hamster. I remember the hamster, but that doesn't take a fact away that Jetpack Cat is put in the game because of Jeff the Land Shark. It has nothing to do with the small rodent in a thing. It has everything to do with, it's basically Jeff the Land Shark. It even picks up people and throws them off the edge. I don't know. Just put it out there.
It's not a new move. It's not a new move. Like, they legit took the move and just put it on their character. Like, if that's innovation, I don't think Blizzard has anywhere to go. You know what I'm saying? Like, what is your innovation, Blizzard? What have you guys done? So you collected your money.
Back, collected money.
Right. You collected your money. You fired the vets. You kept the newbies. The newbies don't know how to do anything. They're not creative. And then when you have competition, you run around trying to kick them all in the ass, tell them they have to do something now. But meanwhile, they're still working from home. They're tired. They don't know if they can come out with something. So 3 guys came around and decided about Jetpack Cat, and we're going to steal some moves from. It's absurd. Do you understand how absurd it is to wait 5 years for someone else to come out with a better game, and then you have to fucking step up and defend yours because you haven't done shit?
Right. Well, it proves they've done nothing. It proves they've done the bare minimum, and now they finally woke up, and now they're competing.
Well, I wouldn't call it competing yet.
Well, I mean,
we'll see.
They were still the most popular hero shooter out there, right?
Well, because at the time that they were the only hero shooter.
Well, right. Well, Battleborn was. I don't know why Battleborn was.
Remember all the promises. We're gonna have individual stories for all our characters.
Yeah, well, they were supposed to
a PvE story-driven thing for Overwatch. Delusions of grandeur. No one did anything, and then they went into a closet and went into a coma.
Well, they originally was supposed to make the MMO with the characters. Then when they made it into Overwatch, they were going to have story content in the original Overwatch.
Too difficult.
And then they just did the
too difficult
PvP
MVP,
stuff. And then they said they were going to do it in Overwatch 2, and then they took that away from it. So that they're keeping that in their pocket. You know why they're keeping that in their pocket? Because Marvel is going to start putting single player content in their game. They're going to put PvE more content in their game. And once Marvel Rivals puts the single player story driven content into their game, because it will happen, chat, mark my words, that's when Overwatch will be like, we too are adding a story mode into our game. 1000% is what's going to happen. They don't want to do it first. They want to see if their competition does it. Well, they already have PvE type of stuff coming in with the vampire stuff. They said they have another one coming down the pipeline. And I guarantee you they're going to start making story content because that's what the community wants, because they love Marvel. They want Marvel characters. Okay. They already have the comic book type of thing inside the game. As soon as they do that, next year, they'll be like, Overwatch, like, we're putting single player in. And we're like, yay, congratulations.
Like how excited can you be that your entire studios don't do anything until someone comes around and tells them we're going to beat you with something? Same thing with Diablo. It's the same thing.
Yeah. All right. We'll go from that to this new brand of hero shooter, Sarge. The Highgard 5v5 raid mode has been added permanently. So if you guys haven't been following along, okay, I made a video 24 hours after Highgard came out, and they said that they're going to change it. I had 2 videos, actually. I had 24 hours after, and I had the toxicity, where people think that because you're giving criticism to a game, that you're a hater for the game, right? Instead of taking the criticism, and in my video, I said that they're going to have to change it, and they're going to change it fast. Not only are they going to put new game modes in, they're going to put 5v5 in. I said they're going to put other things, and they're going to do it real quick. 4 days, 2 days after my video came out, they actually put the 5v5 in because they only came out with a 3v3. Now, I'm not saying that because I said 5v5 is why they put it in. No, they had that stuff in the background, but they were idiots. That's right, idiots for launching a game with no advertisement whatsoever since the Game Awards and putting a 3v3 in there and nothing else. Okay. Which it felt bare bone. People, I don't even know what the let's go look real fast because I don't know what the Krebsy didn't give me my daily check-in of Highgard. So let's look at what Highgard is. Yeah. So 24-hour peak is 5,000, right? 4,000. And I said last week, maybe this is what their original peak was supposed to be, but because they had this 100,000 people try it out first because of the Game Awards, it looks like it's failing. I don't know. I still think it's failing because I don't think 4,000 people can support this game with microtransactions. This is a free-to-play game. It's not like these 4,000 people paid $40 to play this game. They paid $0 to play this game. And I don't think these 4,000 people are just willy-nilly just spending the money because they have no idea if the game is going to last or not because they're changing it faster than they even wanted to. They're already adding new players. Okay, they're already adding a new character. Right? Highgard is adding a new hero who turns into a wolf and a new wolf mount that everyone else can ride around on. But no, they're not the same guy. Okay, so he doesn't turn into the actual wolf, but they're adding. Okay, so Highgard episode 2 set to roll out on February 6th. Right, episode 2. Episode 1 just came out. Right, 2 weeks after they're putting in episode 2, which I think their plan for the roadmap that they said they had a year's worth of content, that's now down to 3 months. Because if they wait a year, this game is not going to make it to the year. So they have to start taking the content and shoving it in. So episode 3 and 4 and 5, I don't think it's 2 months now. I think what they had for a year is now shrunk down to 6 months to maybe even 5 months. Okay, and they're going to keep throwing stuff in. Okay, so a major update for Highgard is rolling out tomorrow on Steam, bringing you with a new hero, new map, new mount, and a particular note that people who just can't get enough of competitive action ranked play, right? Again, launched, no ranked mode. Okay, stupid. So you launched it out to the public. You want it very competitive, no rank mode, only 4 maps, only a certain amount of heroes, only a small game mode. It's how not to launch a game. How not to launch a game. The new character of Highgard episode 2 in the update formerly named is Econ. Okay. And he's also a bit different from the rest of the pack. While the game's other characters summon phantom mounts and ride around, Econ is his own mount. Okay. He has the ability to shapeshift into a dire wolf. Developer Highlight describes it is okay. He says, while it's also formed, Econ's speed is unmatched by other mounts through the full third-person point of view. The dire wolf can also be around, can see around cover and moving around for attack. Weapons also laid down in favor of Econ's deadly bite attack, which also will dash forward and bite prey before immediately transforming back to a human form to finish off the job. Attacking without the target will also allow Econ to perform a small air dash, traverse maps, and more aesthetically. In addition, while he's a wolf form, Econ can also track an enemy's scent that can also leave in their path. Econ can also be other powers while he's in wolf form. So passive, tactical, and ultimate abilities are also wolf-like, enabling him to track enemies even longer distances in the new mount. Also, a wolf is also kind of themed here, as a wolf mount is also free for all players. Well, it's a free-to-play game, and it's just out in the, so they have another thing. Of course it's free. They want to sell you a cooler skin, though, for the wolf. So what do you think about this, Sarge? What do you think about, not only did they tease 4 days in that they're putting a 5v5 testing mode, but now 3 days after that, they're like, oh, it's permanent. No shit, it's permanent. Would you think you're going to take away the 5v5?
Well, there's a couple things to look at here. They are a small team, right?
There are 100 people.
Allegedly.
There's 100 people.
Smaller studio.
Sure.
So if you have, let's put it this way. Let's say the amount of money they have, X, we'll just say the X is the amount of money they have. They know that if they spent all the money up front and not know what they were or what they were going to be, that they would be flat broke by the end and it's over, right?
Right.
So you take the money that you have and you budget it and you save money in reserve, and you're willing to take it on the chin, releasing in this state.
It's not where I thought you were going with that.
Right? You're willing to take it on the chin, releasing it in this state because you have money in reserve to pivot enough to be able to capture the 10,000 people or the 14,000 people that you need in order to survive. So in the broken state that they are in, they got 5,000 people. So now they say to themselves, well, all we need is another 5,000 people. Right? Or 10,000 people. Right? So if we release in this state and we got 5, then if we budget well and
can only get better from here.
Right. We'll pivot and we'll get our 15,000 and then we'll see where we are from there. But I still agree with you. I still think in this environment, a free-to-play game that doesn't release complete in an environment where there's so many other choices, I don't think that they have enough time to do what is needed in order to make the game stable enough to capture the number of people that they need. It's going to be next. The next round of games is going to come out around the corner, and people are going to forget about this game, right? Your wow factor is missing because you didn't have the foundation. What's the story of your characters? What's the story of the game? What's the universe that they're in? Right. At least Overwatch blew smoke directly into your ass with all the stories that they were going to tell with these characters, right? You remember those epic trailers that we had?
Yeah, they still make good trailers.
What's the universe? What's these characters? I'm so interested. You have none of that with Highgard. None of it. So you think that people are going to play just whoever and be invested in somebody that you know nothing about, like you don't understand the universe, you know nothing. It's just a bunch of guys riding animals, killing castles. Like that's, you know what I mean? Like what's my investment to be in it? Right? You want the cool factor just to be, I'm riding around shooting people. We do that in a lot of games, right? What's your hook? You don't have one. And more to the point, you never wanted one. You just wanted to gamble. And this is the other problem I have. You wanted to gamble with low funds and then try to squeak something out and be a hero. Instead, you basically just put yourself under the knife and now a time limit. And now you're going to lose on both ends because you're not going to be able to complete it enough, right? These studios need to come out with a basic, fun game that people want to play, that'll pay $30, $40
right, but you got to put the full content in there.
Yeah, and then build up a base of people for a fun game, and then take that money and invest it into something else. You guys want to go right to the end of the story before you build any foundation at all. Explain to me what they were going to do. What was going to happen?
I think if Highgard took their year roadmap that they have and they put that out day one and they actually had a full game, and they behind the scenes they also had content they were working on. But when you come out with a game bare bone 3v3, that's the game mode, that one game mode, and you have just those 4 maps, that's lackluster. And then what makes it look worse, in my opinion, is that 4 days after it comes out, you're like, oh, by the way, here's a experimental 5v5, which is then thrown into the game. People are like, oh, this is much better. It feels much better. Okay, but you can still feel like it wasn't made for what it was doing. And then all of a sudden they're like, it's just temporary. And then after the weekend, they're like, oh, thank you so much for all trying it out. You loved it so much that we're going to keep it in permanently. Shut up. You were going to put it in permanently anyway. It should have been in the game day one, along with the rest of your roadmap, along with the other characters, along with the other maps. Okay, real quick, Eric Jones says, we're still talking about Highgard? Yeah, because it's a news show and it's part of the news. All right. If they would have charged $50 like Concord, this game would have been done before day one.
Agreed.
Yeah, no, I agree with you.
100%.
In the exact same situation that we're in, where they showed it at the Game Awards and told you absolutely nothing and then dropped it for $50 or $40. Yeah, they would have gotten they would have gotten the 2,000 people to buy their game. Okay. And they would have the same amount of numbers of people that basically they have now. But at least they would have made $40 to $50 off of each of those people, because right now those people are playing the game for free and you don't even know if they spent any money on the microtransactions, right? I've said this in my morning show. These people have an allowance. They have a nest egg of how long they think they can sustain before they start making profit. Well, if they thought they were going to have 10,000 people play the game, maybe they have 10,000 people playing the game between console and PC. Cool. Okay. But how many of those people are buying a microtransaction? 1%? So 1% of the 10,000 people that are playing the game are buying a $10, $20 microtransaction. Great. How much money is that? And does that pay for the servers that they're putting on? Because they have servers and there's only 6 people, now 10 people per server when they're in a match. So what? 1,000 people are playing the game, 1,000 servers. They got to pay for those every month. Well, no one bought a microtransaction this month. Well, there goes some of that money. Oh, next month. Oh, we sold microtransactions, but not enough. Well, there goes that money. Like, what do they got? 6 months? 8 months?
Maybe.
What are they going to do? They had to give their best. This is my first impressions for everything. And their first impression was a limp dick. Okay? That's what their first impression is. That's very small. Right? They're like, oh, that's it. Too bad for Highgard. People are like, oh, it's a really good game. Great. It's not even a complete game.
If you started with a smaller game, something fun, maybe a puzzle game, something to just keep people playing for a little while. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
Something. Or a puzzle game that had the characters in it that you have no idea what the characters are, and you tell stories about the characters inside the game, and then you come up with another game that elaborates on what the characters actually are. Now it's Highgard. You know what I mean? Like, you want the victory before anything. What was the research involved in making a 3 versus 3 team shooter? Right? You thought because there's team shooters, we're going to win? Like, what's the process? Right? I don't understand.
Means very competitive, like Trials of Osiris competitive.
Yeah, but 3v3 in this, because you have to plant bombs and things. Once you, if you guys run, especially since it's not going both sides at the same time, it's one side gets to attack the castle.
Well, so right? whoever grabs the sword, the other one has to defend. Yeah,
right. But once that's established, if I kill 2 guys, we win. You're not coming back in time for me to stop the bomb. You know what I mean? Like it's
no, because they do have a pause. So basically, if you kill the guys and you go over to the thing, everyone gets teleported to the inside, so they're there to defend.
Yeah, great.
Yeah, but you're right.
You're still You're still gonna know where they are.
Yeah, there's not enough people to keep the point going. Right? That's why 5v5 felt better.
And I don't think 5v5 is a Hail Mary try to save anything.
No.
Right? You're looking just for more action, right?
I just think it's funny though.
How many guys are we going after?
It is experimental. No, it's not. Your game is experimental. The 5v5 mode you took out before launch.
100%. I'm not upset with somebody who wants to take a chance. But are you willing to spend $80 million on something you don't know is going to work or not? Like, just if it's your own money. The other part of this is that if these guys send their face man out to harvest money from entrepreneurs and guys who have money who look to, there's people out there with money that fund these games. You guys understand that, right? It's not about them always getting a bank loan. It's that they're looking for funding, right? So they send their face man out. They make a bunch of posters. They tell them a hip story. They tell them about how the game's going to be successful because look at all these other games. And the guys who have more money than sense will sit around, listen to the presentation, and be like, you know what? This sounds kind of good. This sounds pretty good. How much do you need me to invest? And they'll say maybe $100,000, $200,000, depending on how much money the guy actually has, right? But you still need to have a product at the end that shows return on investment. If every time you guys keep coming out with these kind of games and nobody gets their money back, right? Then people stop investing in game companies because they know that it's just another one of these guys. It's just another one of these guys. Yeah, here we are again. Like, so who's going to fund these games, right? Because you know damn well that a team of 100 guys can't walk into a bank and go, we're game developers. We want to make a game. Here's some pretty pictures and some animations. And the bank's going to go, yeah, that looks great. What's your business model? You're not getting a fucking dime. You're not getting a fucking dime from a bank, right? So the only way you're getting money for these fucking games is independent investment, right? And you keep pissing it away. There's nothing concrete.
Right.
Where do we go?
All right. Let's go to the next thing, which is Arc Raiders. Arc Raiders' budget was $75 million. It's claimed. Now, obviously, we don't know the official thing, but if it is $75 million, that's really good, right? Because we talk about if you keep your budget under $100 million, right? Expedition 33 was $10 million, right? If Arc Raiders was $75 million and it was $25 million less than $100 million, they don't need to sell 5 million copies, but they did. Not only did they sell 5 million copies, they sold 10 million copies. Not only did they sell 10 million copies, they sold 20 million copies. Okay. So Michael Packner the analyst, video industry analyst Michael Pachter revealed that the budget of Arc Raiders, a new video, explores whether or not Ubisoft will survive after a recent restructuring announcement. Pachter shared that his insights on several topics towards the end of the video. Pachter discussed a different game budget and timelines of the cost making of Arc Raiders was revealed. Pachter states that Ubisoft, now obviously they're not part of Ubisoft, but he's giving the example of the budget's low on this. Ubisoft's games are like $250, $300 million, right? He says, taking up 5 years of development time and selling only 5 million units is not sustainable. Okay. 3 years is plenty. He's talking about people bringing Rockstar into comparison, which also might bring in $1.5 to $2 billion on Grand Theft Auto, but don't understand that they're also going to make $2 billion back in the first week, 100%. Okay. The analyst adds that everybody shouldn't be comparing themselves to GTA or FIFA or former glory days of Call of Duty. Instead, they should be comparing themselves to Arc Raiders. Pachter then drops a secret stating that Arc Raiders cost $75 million to make, and it was developed in over 3 years, right? It was just under 4 or just about 4 years, okay, of 70 developers who include marketing in the budget, okay? That's with marketing.
Right, with marketing.
With marketing, 75. Okay. Pachter added that the game has already made $500 million from 12 million copies plus units sold, will probably make close to $1 billion. Okay. So there you go. So this is what I talk about with everyone says that Microsoft games are a failure because they're putting on Game Pass and they're losing out. But we don't know. And again, they don't share their numbers. Okay. But if they keep their games, if Starfield didn't cost 500 million, it only cost 200 million and 250 million, they don't have to sell 10 million copies. They can sell 5 million copies and they can be profitable with that, right? Same with any other game that comes out where if they keep their budget low enough, and again, we can say a game is a failure. We know Ubisoft's a failure, and Shadows, Assassin's Creed Shadows, everyone's like, oh, well, it has 3 million people played it or whatever, 5 million people. Great. The game was in development for like 4 to 5 years. It's over $300 million, and $5 million sales is not going to cut it for a game like that. But when you have a game like Arc Raiders, when you have a game like Expedition 33, when you have a game like Pal World, when you have a game like Helldivers, where their games don't cost $300 million and they go on to sell 5 million copies, that's a huge success. Where these other companies are struggling to try to make it. So
they're bloated.
Right. Of course they are.
They're bloated because they all think they can be like Rockstar, right? But let's remember once again how Rockstar handled the last 10 years. They found a firecracker, they pumped it out, right? Probably one of the greatest selling games of all time was GTA 5, and they milked the crap out of it.
Yeah, I think
they milked it. They milked it.
Entertainment.
Yeah, they milked it so hard that they canceled every other game that they had because they didn't need to release them, because selling shark cards kept them afloat to make GTA 6. Remember that. Selling shark cards and getting rid of every other title that they were going to make. And now we just wait for GTA 6 because they don't need to release anything else.
Right. Well, I want to talk about, hold on one second. I want to talk about more Arc Raiders real fast. There's a little conversation here about Arc Raiders fans debate game's death from streamer influence. Now, I don't understand this because last time I checked, let me go over here real fast and check for Arc Raiders. Arc Raiders right now is still a 24-hour peak is 243,000 people, 481,000 from 3 months ago. But if you go to the max, it still was gaining people in January, still maintaining 410,000 people. February, it dipped below 400,000, but it's insane numbers that Arc Raiders is doing. So it says, in the weeks that followed the launch of Arc Raiders, we saw countless content creators leap head over heels into the game, and it made sense. It was a game that was also made excellent content and for a while, it was one of the most watched games on Twitch and YouTube. It says, even if they spawned a created backhanded war between the likes of Hutch and Burnt Peanut, which was fun for all about 5 minutes. Yeah, but that was creator made. That was just a fun little thing they were doing that people got interested. If you weren't part of that group, if you weren't part of the people that watched that, you didn't know what the fuck was going on anyway, right? So now it says a comment that surfaced on social media was spawned in somewhat virtuous debate, suggesting that try-hard, super effing losers that populate streaming in social passes will bring about the death of Arc Raiders. Now, just take that from face value. I don't know if that's true at all, because a game itself goes through the life cycle of what it is. Now, I've said this before. I worked with a guy in the film industry, and his dad tested things, all things, seats, switches, lights, whatever it was, right? And he had a conversation with me one time and said, yeah, everything has a lifespan, right? They can make 1,000 switches, and they test the switch, and they go like this, and there's a little robot that moves the switch up and down, and they go, oh, 1,000 times before that switch broke. And they do it again, and they say, oh, 800 times, and that switch broke. So they go, all right, you get between 800 and 1,000 switches on and off. Okay, that's the lifespan of the thing. But you don't know. Everything comes on the assembly line, and something has where it can hold 1,000 clicks open, another thing can hold 5, and it breaks. Okay, just what it is. A light bulb you screw in, it might last for 10 years. Another one might last 5 days. Video games are the same way. If a video game is fun and people like the video game, it lasts longer. You get stuff like this, okay? And you get good over the time. You get people that come back and play, and that's the longevity of the game. Now, it could last 3 months. It could last 5 years, whatever it is. Or you could look at this and look at Battlefield 6 numbers, okay? And you look at this and go, oh, well, that switch wasn't as good as the Arc Raiders switch. Okay, everything has a lifespan. It doesn't matter about the IP or whatever. It's about the people that are playing your game. So to blame streamers that they're going to kill Arc Raiders is bullshit, because the player base that likes to play the game, that are all playing, decides when the game dies or doesn't die.
That's correct. I'm done listening to that. I'm done listening to the. You have to remember, they only get mad when they can't control the narrative. That's the whole MO, right? It's okay to pay shills, do marketing, lie, do pre-orders, get everybody possible to buy the game, and then after the game comes out, if it doesn't work, whatever, it's too bad, so sad, we got your money.
Right.
But if the media that's controlled by the people, which is what a streamer is not usually bought and paid for it. Some are, right?
Sure.
But they give you their own opinion about it. You're going to blame them for the downfall of your game, right?
Right.
So it only works in one direction. If they're on my side, it's all positive because we're the business. We have to sell product. But if it's somebody that defends the public against us, then it's the streamer's fault that games are failing. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, I don't think Arc Raiders is in jeopardy of streamers wrecking the game. If anything, I think a lot of the streamers is not specific streamers, but just all games in general. Like when someone streams a game and more people watch that game, it brings more eyeballs, which is the water cooler of the past. Yes. It's the word of mouth of the past. When you went to school, you're like, hey, we didn't have internet. You didn't pick up the phone and be like, hey, you got to play this game, right? You were at school. You're like, hey, what'd you do? Oh, I bought this new game. It was really cool. Oh, can I come over and play it? Yeah. And they come over and they play it. I'm like, oh, dude, I got to get this. I'm going to ask for this for my birthday.
That's exactly how it worked.
That's exactly it, right? That's how it works now, but it's the internet. The internet's instant. So like when someone's playing a video game, they're like, what do you think about that? And you're like, oh, I like it a lot. And they're like, okay, cool. And they come in, and if they follow along with you, and they're like, well, I kind of like the same types of games as him, they're like, oh, cool, I'm going to buy it, right? If they're like, I don't really like this game, they're like, I'm not going to buy it because that's just the way it is. It's word of mouth, super fast. Instead of waiting to go to school the next day and ask your friend about it, go to the stream and you ask the streamer, or you ask the chat, hey, guys, what do you guys think about the game? Boom, 1,000 people answer you, right? It's good, it's shit, it's awesome, it's great. And you're like, okay. And you're going to filter out the people you don't want to listen to. You're going to look at the people that you want to listen to, and there it is. So to say that streamers hurt video games, you're talking about individual streamers that maybe like shit talk someone or show something or expose something. But for the most part, streamers actually help video games because they are the people that are talking and giving.
Because they trust them more than the corporate shill.
Correct. And then there's a blurred line between corporate shill and some of the streamers are.
Well, but they out themselves eventually.
100%.
They out themselves eventually. Not everybody's the same, but it still means the same thing. But also, don't forget, quality was on the cartridge. Quality was on the disc.
Right.
When I sold you the product was on the disc, on the cartridge, and it was done. What was there is there. That's it. Now, I can release it to you at any condition at all because everything can be patched and updated, which is supposed to be beneficial for us. But really what it is just promises that say we'll fix it, but if we didn't sell enough copies, oopsie, we don't have to finish it now.
Right. Alexander, streamers help perpetuate hype which isn't necessarily a bad thing. No, I think personally, I think streamers help more than they hurt, because a game, if it's bad, is going to get exposed just faster than it's a bad game.
The game speaks for itself.
Right. The game speaks. Right. A game speaks for itself. It's a bad game. Streamers will show you it's a bad game. If it's a good game, streamers will show you it's a good game. It just makes it faster. So, all right, going from that to MindsEye, which is
why is this a story?
Well, this is a story because one of 2025's biggest flops is trying to engineer a big comeback almost no one asked for. Don't you love when they're like, no, you like this game? You're like, no, I don't like this game. They're like, no, eat it. Eat the fucking game, right?
Yeah,
You're like, I don't want the game.
But this is another example of the face man going out and getting someone to fund the game.
Right, which is the producer of the guy who worked for Grand Theft Auto.
They walked out there somewhere and got money from somebody to try to fix this game. I don't know what you're trying to fix. Right,
well,
the people that played it and liked it said they liked it, but there was no big deal. It was like
just 10 of them. Yeah, it was 10 people.
Right, that was it. I don't know what you're trying to do.
Actually, let's see what it is on. Was it MindsEye? MindsEye. Yeah, 24 people, 37.
What are you going to fix? What are you going to fix?
All right, so let's look at what this is, okay? It says this week's MindsEye received an unexpected new update. Built by a Rocket Boy touts update 7 as another step forward in the overall polish. Guided by a player of community feedback, the statement does the community feedback. The community. The community feedback. Yeah, all 100 of them. Okay. It says, however, the patch notes were followed up by a much grander statement in the official press release, according to Rocket Boy. Update 7 serves as a reset for the brand and the title, and the beginnings of a new era. Here's another thing. Splitgate came out. Splitgate went back in. Splitgate came back out, right? Like, all these games come out as a, ta-da, here I am. And they're like, we don't like you. And they're like, right? They like back off. And then they come back in. They're like, ta-da, I'm back. You're like, I don't give a shit. I didn't like you the first time, right? First impressions are everything. So according to Build a Rocket Boy, Update 7 serves as a more thing. It says, in the statement lines up with the omission of the IO Interactive's branding and copyright info of the latest trailer for the game, which is seamlessly proves that the leak detailing Build a Rocket Boy's IO Interactive split was correct. It's not been a great week, month, or even a year for MindsEye. At the end of January, it leaked that Build a Rocket Boy will reportedly be parting ways with IO Interactive, ending any plans of MindsEye's future Hitman crossover on February 2nd. The CEO, Mark Gerhard, treated the YouTuber, formerly ceased and desist the man, as Discord 18 minutes after the said YouTuber released a video titled Leslie Benson is in the Epstein files. And then yesterday, Build a Rocket Boy's other CEO, aforementioned Leslie Benson, released a statement denying any allegations of sexual assault or allegation of victim of Jeffrey Epstein. Build a Rocket Boy confirmed that Benson remains working at the studio despite the wave of layoffs last summer, suggesting MindsEye's attempt at the reboot will happen under its oversight. This week's tease promised that the new expansion and adds endgame content, for fuck's sake, and enhance the world of exploration of multiplayer support on the way, and the details regarding the fresh 2026 content roadmap can be revealed within the coming month.
What are you going to do with this game? What is it? What do you think is going to happen with this game?
It's a platform.
It is not a platform. It was barely a game.
But
it was barely a game.
They're selling it as
a platform.
Yeah, no, it was a platform. Remember, it was called Everywhere. That platform that the game was called Everywhere that they originally were selling. But then they stopped selling Everywhere, and they were selling just the game that they made with inside the program itself of Everywhere, which was MindsEye. And now MindsEye came out, flopped.
Is that how you're selling me? Is that how you're selling the person who gave them money to finish this game?
Well, this is what they did. I'm just telling you what they did. What they did was Everywhere was the thing that they were selling, a platform where you can make your own games, just like Minecraft, just like Fortnite, just like Hytale, where you can come in and make your own stuff. But that's not what they pitched. They pitched MindsEye as a single-player game, and they tried to Trojan horse this Everywhere thing inside here. Look, this is not going to go good for them. This is going to go even worse than the first time. You're going to see this number go up to maybe like 20 people on top of the 30 people that are there, and everyone's going to be like, yeah, no, this is not it. Okay, it's just not. Like, they keep wanting to shove these things down your throat and say, no, you have to like this game. We've paid so much money for this game. Sorry, that's not how business works. It's not. So there you go. MindsEye, still alive. It could be comeback game. It could have a No Man's Sky moment. Sorry.
Hey, listen. Well, it's not a live service game. It's just a game. The 24 people. Listen, they got 3,000 people to buy it, bro.
They got more than that. They got more than that. They actually got, according to this, 79,000 people.
Was it $50? It was $50.
I think it was $50. Yeah.
I still don't see how they're.
They
where
don't.
get the money
They're
from.
they're not making money off of that. They're not making. They made $3 million. Congratulations. That'll pay for the developers for 2 months.
There's a difference between people who are willing to sacrifice in order to get a project done, and the people who are willing to throw money at something that they know is dead, but still collect the money from people to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you know this is not going to go anywhere. Just put it down.
But they don't want to admit that. If they admit that, then they admit failure. If they admit failure, then
I don't need them to admit it. There's 24 fucking people playing it. I don't need an admission from anyone.
Well, give them triple that, Sarge. There's people on console as well. The next thing.
It's so aggravating.
This is going to aggravate you, Sarge. I know this is going to aggravate you. I read the title, and this is going to aggravate you.
Does it say it's claimed on it?
No claim. It says worse than that. Ready? Here it is. Next story is Borderlands 4 Switch 2 release says delayed indefinitely.
Okay, chat. Let's review from our English lessons from the past.
I knew this was going to trigger Sarge. Here you go.
Let's review, guys, in chat. Let's review English. Remember, okay, what does indefinitely in gaming mean? What does it mean, chat?
Indefinitely.
What does it mean?
Indefinitely.
Come on, guys. I know you know.
Indefinitely means indefinitely.
We went over this.
Okay. Well, let me read as chat decides what indefinitely means. It says, in the news that comes
never. It means never. It's not coming out.
The news comes after publisher Take-Two Interactive announced during a quarterly earnings call on Tuesday that that it was pausing development of the Nintendo Switch 2 edition on Borderlands 4. The title was originally released in 2025 on PlayStation 5, Windows PC, and Xbox Series X on September 12th, and the release into Nintendo's latest console was set for October 4th. Okay. However, October came and went, and the news about the went into looter shooter would appear to be the platform was scarce. Take-Two spokesperson Alan Lewis later confirmed the decision to comment later on the Variety would made the difficult decision to pause development on the SKU. Lewis told Variety, "Our focus continues to be developing quality post-launch content for players on the ongoing improvements to optimize the game. We're continuing to collaborate closely with friends of the Nintendo, and we have PGA Tour 2K25 coming out and WWE 2K26 for the Switch 2, and we're incredibly excited about bringing it out." So they just kind of like wash it away. Remember, they were not pre-ordered Borderlands 4 on the Switch.
Correct. That's
and they
correct.
had to give their money back for it because they delayed it, and now they're just like it's indefinite. Right now, the title says indefinite, but them themselves, the company says we put it on a pause. So who's retarded? The company saying they're putting it on a pause, which is not indefinite, is just putting it on a pause, or the article person who said that it's indefinite. Indefinite means never.
The game was going to release on Switch 2, yes or no? We all discussed it. We all thought that it wasn't going to make it on Switch because I don't think the Switch 2 could handle it. Honestly, we all just think that it was going to handle it.
Well, of course, but I didn't try to sell you on it. They sold you on it. They were like, "Hey, yeah, it's coming out." Randy Pitchford told you you're going to find a way. So you're going to find a way to buy this game for your system that you want it on.
So it's okay to cancel a game that you said you were going to release on a system. So the entire release on an entire system is not going to happen because now that you know the sales of the game, you know it's not worth it to put it on that system because you know you're not going to sell enough copies anyway.
Right. I mean, it says it. If they're not going to continue selling it.
And so let's review. Let's review.
No pre-order. No day one.
Review.
No full price for a half-ass game.
I don't understand why we constantly listen to these people. I just don't get
obviously,
it, man.
Now, obviously, people tell you that the game sold well. If it sold well, then
they would release it on Switch.
They would release it on the Switch. But because it didn't sell as well as they thought it was, they're like, well, let's hold off on the Switch because we need to make sure that the player base that we have is going to buy the DLCs and maybe we can push out more to the people that.
So let me ask you a question. Are they going to release that wrestling game on Switch 2 for $100?
Oh, I don't know.
Right? Because that wrestling game is $100, right?
Oh, I think so. I think Travis told me that the next WWE game is like $100, $150, something like that.
$100, yeah.
The standard edition is $100.
Good luck with that.
Wait. Is the standard edition $100? Is this our first $100 standard video game? The WWE, or is it the deluxe edition?
Whichever version.
Well, if it's $100 and it's the standard edition, then that's a problem. Dupla says no. Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say that would be all over the news because they're waiting for Grand Theft Auto to announce the $100 video game.
And we all eagerly await Grand
That's
Theft
the deluxe
Auto's
edition. Okay.
We eagerly await Grand Theft Auto's price point because we know it doesn't matter which price they pick. The rest of the industry is done selling games at their price point. Because it only Grand Theft Auto's release only tells everybody else exactly what they want to hear about everybody else's game. You're charging too much for what you're making. All right. If Grand Theft Auto, we'll say it every week. If Grand Theft Auto comes out for $100, the rest of these games that come out can't sell for $100. They can't.
Right.
You're not Grand Theft Auto. Right. Your scope is not Grand Theft Auto. And then even if that happens, you can't charge $80 for a game for what you're trying to release. This half-baked game, right?
They can,
but
they will.
But if Grand Theft Auto decide, or if Rockstar decides, you know what? Let's see how much damage we can actually cause, and they release the game at $70, then everybody's fucked. Everybody's fucked. $70 normal, $100 special edition, they're fucked because none of their games are worth $70 if Grand Theft Auto is $70.
Yeah, if Grand Theft Auto comes out at 100, they raise the price. A lot of games are not going to sell because those games are not worth $100.
Not even close.
Yeah,
not even close.
Not even worth the $70. Some of them. Next story is the big story, which is the MMO Ash of Creations, Sarge, which was in development for about 10 years. All of a sudden, Ash of Creations, Steven Sheriff resigned in protest as Intrepid's board starts massive layoff at MMO Studio Update. Now, so much of the senior leadership resigned. Now, I said this earlier in the week. They have a stream supposedly coming out on the 13th that they're going to talk about stuff. We watched Big Fry TV, and Big Fry TV said something along the lines of, I don't think that's going to happen. And I agree with that. But the more I read about the story and talk about the story, I'm like, I said earlier in the week, I said, what if the 13th comes around and they just kind of rehash stuff and say, well, we've moved on from these people and we're going a different direction with Ash of Creations, right? And the reason I'm bringing this up is only because of Hightail. Hightail was a similar position, 10 years in development, right? 5 years by themselves up to 2021. And then they sold it to Riot Games, and then Riot Games took it and held it for 4 years, 5 years. And then they closed the studio down, fired all of the people that were working on Hightail, and it was a closed studio. Like Hightail 4 months ago was done, wasn't coming out. Then the head was like, I'll buy it back. Talked to Riot Games. Riot Games said, sure, here you go. You can have it back, whatever he paid for it. And now Hightail released in early access, and it's alive and well, and people are loving the game. That is the only reason I'm saying is Ash of Creations, because it's not official that Ash of Creations is closed. Okay. It is true that they did layoffs. It is true that the director left, right? But then the story gets a little weird because the director said that there was no board of directors originally. There was no board of directors. But then he said the board of directors is going a different direction. And I'm like, well, wait a minute. If there's no board of directors and now all of a sudden there's a board of directors, something had to happen. Well, someone did some investigating and they said that their company got sold off a couple of months ago, which means there's probably a board of directors now. And the board of directors is probably going, what are we spending our money on? How far along are you in the project? Now, again, I'm doing a lot of speculation here. I don't know if this is what's happening. Okay. But if they're checked because now there's new owners and the new owners are like, oh, what are we spending our money on? And they're like, oh, we're still far away. But then they put it on Steam. Okay. Ash of Creations came on Steam in December. And because they put it out on Steam in early access, okay, because people paid for it on Kickstarter, they paid up to like $300, up to $500. Other people paid $250 to get in early access to play the game. Supposedly they have somewhere like $25 to $45 million they've made off of selling this game so far. Okay. Well, they launched it on Steam in December, and in the small print on Kickstarter, it says if the game doesn't get launched, you would get a full refund. Well, it launched on Steam, but it's in early access. So now people are wanting to know, does that count as the launch? And if it does count as the launch, well, then class action lawsuit is what I think, because now you're just doing it because the game you knew was going to bomb and you weren't going to complete it. So you're like, well, let's just throw it out there, get the money we can get for the people that are hyped for it, and then we cover our ass because the Kickstarters, then we don't have to make our money back there. Now, Asher Creations is getting refunds on Steam for people that have put some hours in. Now, there's not a lot of stories going out there yet, but Steam has given people hours back that have had like 10 hours in the game, 12 hours in the game, and they've refunded those people. But this whole story is crazy. Like, again, we don't know if Asher Creations is done. Now, we as the public say it's done because obviously you've lost the leads, you've lost everything. Like, this game might as well be done. But at the same time, maybe they go a different direction. Maybe they hire a different studio.
Yeah, but the leads didn't code the game. The leads didn't make the game. The leads are just guys who collected the money and ran.
Well, I don't know if I want to say they ran. I don't know if the leads ran, but you could say that they took the money and did something with it. I don't know if you could say that they ran with it because the leads were fired. The only one that left on his own accord was the director of Asher Creations, right? He stepped down before he got fired, where the other guys got fired. So I don't know if the devs, the ones that are making the game, took anything. But it does seem strange that a lot of money was thing, and you put this game out there, and then come out and say the board of directors. But before that, there was no board of directors. So what the fuck is going on? And are people going to get their money back?
Yeah, I don't know the details of this because to me it sounds like all speculation. Everyone's screaming scam, but at the same time, why not just stay in alpha? If you know the game was in trouble, why not just stay in alpha?
This is why they're going to say something about it on the 13th.
Well, let's allow the 13th to happen. And I don't like 13th anyway because it's too close to Valentine's Day. That whole weekend's going to be a clusterfuck. No one's going to be paying attention. Maybe some people will be paying attention, but everyone will be doing other shit for that weekend. But I say we let the 13th happen. Let's see what they say. Because if the game is actually a game and it was just held back by bad ownership and somebody else wants to take it over and try to release it in the state that it's in and release it in alpha, because we already know that if it's released and then it goes back and they can release it alpha again, like it's done. We've seen other games do it. So
right.
So according to the laws that we don't understand or know, you can release a game, take it back, release it in alpha, or keep it in alpha and collect $1 billion like Star Citizen, and nobody asks any questions. Like it's the Wild West out here with games. Like nobody knows anything, right?
Judge Dredd, real quick says gamers pre-order acting like they're buying a game on a disc with limited supply. Yeah, I don't understand when they like pre-order. We've gone through this before. Why people pre-order makes no sense to me.
Your brains are broken, right? So let's let the 13th pass because I want to see if the new ownership knows that they actually have a product and are trying to get the product out. Because if that's the case, that's one thing. Well, but if the original owners released it in this state in order to circumvent the rules that stated refunds would be given. Yeah. Refunds would be given if the game wasn't released. And so they released it in a bad state just to solidify the fact that they can't be sued because the game was then released. That's a different thing. That's different.
Here it says the news comes from the official Asher Creation Discord, right? It says where Sheriff announces his resignation in protest as he states the board of directors was carrying out actions that he could not ethically agree to. This is his states after he controlled the company shifted away from him. Now, again, there's a lot more before this because Steven was the sole owner of Asher Creations. Okay. There was no board of directors. He's actually said there was no board of directors. He had multiple times where he said there is no board of directors. It is what it is.
Why is there a board now?
All of a sudden there's a board, right? And he says
to protect them ethically, right? To protect them,
right? He can't ethically agree to it. So now, what does that mean? Maybe we find out on the 13th. What are they going to do that ethically is that he didn't see his vision and they were basically destroying it? But then again, you sold your soul because you sold it to whoever the financiers were that took over, right? Because there was no board of directors. And now there is.
Well, because if it protects them financially, if there's a board, then there's red tape to go through that you can't put the blame on a sole person anymore. He probably got out of it knowing that shit might come down. So if he sells it, it's no longer under his purview. So that's
Right.
why. But
Yeah, but whatever happened
I
under
want
him
the
on
13th to happen.
Kickstarter. Yeah, but you know what I'm saying? If the
No, I
new
get it.
owners are not responsible for what happened on Kickstarter, he is.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
But
him leaving doesn't just
he already
exonerate him from
but
all
he
the
already
stuff.
he already did he already has his obligation because the game was released. You see what I'm saying? The obligation was to
Right.
release. Nobody can come back and sue him for anything,
But
right? Because it becomes a Kickstarter and a project, and the disclaimer on the Kickstarter thing happens, and then the contract said it had to be released. Like, they're already covered, right? What happened to the money outside of the money used for development? We don't know where the rest of that money went.
But here's the weird thing, right? If this was before it released on Steam, and he says, you know, it's unethical, I could not ethically agree to. Like, he was saying, no, we can't put it on Steam yet, and the board of directors like, no, we're putting it on Steam, and he quit before that time. Cool. But this is a month and a half after it released on Steam. So it's not like he was like, oh, it's unethical that you're putting this game on Steam and you're charging $60 for it, right? And we're closing down in a month and a half, right? I mean, look, a lot could happen. X Defiant, the guy who created X Defiant, didn't know he was closing down, and he was
They
against
didn't even
it.
tell him.
They didn't even tell him. He was like, no, we're not closing down. And then they're like, yeah, you're closing down, like 2 weeks afterwards. And he's like, what the fuck? Right. So
tell him.
Look, a lot of stuff happens in these situations. We'll follow this closely as it happens. But overall, right, MMOs, I think, can survive. I'm actually making a video about this, Sarge, about MMOs, about
high risk, man. MMOs are
why MMOs are not succeeding. But here we are. Here's a new MMO that's literally coming out 3 days ago. They showed this. I'm not going to show. I'm going to show the video, but you're not going to hear anything. We're just going to have it playing in the background. This is called The Quinfall.
Oh,
now, this is coming out in early access. Okay, this is another MMO that I don't think anyone knew about. And if you did, you heard about it a long time ago, forgot about it, and now you're like, oh yeah, I remember this game. Okay, so here's another MMO. Ash of Creations is out still. You can go purchase that if you want to. I don't know why you would. Then there's this one. Okay. MMOs come out, but there's just something wrong with MMOs, Sarge. All MMOs that come out that are not old school MMOs always kind of struggle when they come out. Look at New World. New World came out and people really liked New World. They did. They liked New World. 4 years into the cycle, game's dead. They're not going to support it after this year. Come January 2027, closes down. Okay. But here you go. You have yet another MMO coming out. And it looks okay. It looks like an MMO, right? But these MMOs are like missing something. I don't know what that is. I think people are like nostalgia, like, oh man, I remember the times I played Ultima Online or Evercrack. You know what I mean?
It's a different environment now, bro. Do you know how much time it takes to invest in an MMO? Right?
Yeah, a lot of money.
The types of games that they're trying to release now to get people attached to in order to get recurring money from. Right, you can't have people invested in an MMO, right? You're in the MMO, bro. If I'm invested in an MMO, maybe I have an extra 2 or 3 hours, maybe every couple weeks to play something else because you're in the MMO, bro. Right?
Right.
So how do you construct an industry that bases the clientele to be in your game for many hours at a time? Games as service, right? We're going to get you 2 weeks out of the month or every other week, whatever. And all the games are the same. And now you want to try to put in another MMO to see who's going to be vested with this. We still got people playing WoW, bro.
Right.
They're playing WoW still. Right. Why? Because
Blizzard 20 years.
Because Blizzard knew back then how to establish a community, how to establish a story, how to establish lore, how to establish characters, and they built a foundation, and that's why that game is still going on today. Yeah, the population is down because there's other shit to play, but they're still there. They're still there in great numbers.
For a new MMO to come out to try to grab that audience is going to be super hard.
Who are you grabbing? Who are you grabbing?
Well, it has the word fall in it, 30, so it's already done. I know.
What was the one that we played? What was the one that we played? It was kind of like a little pirate-esque type of thing. I thought that one was done well.
Throne and Liberty, I think, is what you're talking about, right?
New
World.
Was it New World?
New World, you tried it out when it was a beta on console.
Avium, right?
Yes, the New World of Avium. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I thought that one was good.
Yeah,
But
close
once
down.
again,
Yeah,
but
close
once
down.
again, what keeps you there?
I think a lot of Josh Strife's Hayes video said that communities is what keeps MMOs going around. He says the people that love communities is why they still play those games, right? That's why the old games still last, because the communities were there before they stripped out the stuff of the MMOs, right? Remember, MMOs used to be MMOs. Now they're theme parks. You know what I'm saying? Now they're not the same. Where MMO Ultima Online and EverQuest and Star Wars Galaxies and World of Warcraft when it first launched, that's why everyone loves World of Warcraft Original, because it was a completely different game. Now it's like Disneyland, right? It's not the same MMOs anymore. And all these other MMOs that try to come out to be like the old ones can't make it, because that's not where the players or how the players play games anymore.
Yeah, but let's ask the question: who are you talking to get money for an MMO that they think it's a good idea to open up an MMO in this environment? Who says yes to that?
You're going to be throwing so much money at it. It's going to take at least minimum 6 to 8 years.
The richest one of the richest companies in the world, the unlimited money, couldn't get the MMO to stick.
Yeah, Amazon closed.
Right,
New
Amazon,
World, they closed Lord of the Rings twice. Right? They have Lost Ark that they're putting money towards.
If they can't
cancel
keep it open and they have
40K.
unlimited money, then what do you think is happening? It's not about how much money you have. It's about the writing and what keeps people involved in the goddamn story.
Yeah.
Who is investing in MMOs in 2025, 2026? Who?
Yeah, it's
what's the pitch? I have $100 million in the bank. It's burning a hole in my pocket. Somebody sell me on an MMO. I want to hear the pitch.
I don't want to decapitate my video that's coming out this weekend, but I talk about why I think MMOs are dying or why they're not lasting. And it's not because of why people think, it's because of other games and what type of games they are. So we'll talk about that later this weekend. The next thing I want to talk about is that Epic finally admits, Sarge, that the Epic Game Store admits that the launcher sucks and it improves are on the way. I'm not even going to read this article. I read it earlier in the week. It's been out for 7 years, 8 years, and it's terrible. And what they say they're doing to fix it, Sarge, is people are really complaining about how sluggish it feels. Like when you click on something, it doesn't react fast enough, right? And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about, right? Like, no one's using your browser because no one wants to use your fucking launcher, right? No one wants to use your launcher because you're using Steam. They come in, they log in, they grab the free game, and they go fuck away. They're like, fuck you. I don't give a shit about. They don't buy games off of Epic Launcher. They just get the free games and they go play games on Steam.
It's got nothing to do with speed of clicking. It's got to do with your UI. It just sucks. Nobody wants to be part of it, right? So what's the answer if I can't beat somebody?
Well, you got to try to destroy them.
You got to try to sue them. Yeah,
you got to try to destroy them.
Yeah,
I think
I don't want to improve my engine. I don't want to improve my storefront. I would much rather just sue your company and blame everyone else.
Yeah, well, here, this is right here. Epic Games boss Tim Sweeney voices support for a $900 million Steam lawsuit. Valve is the only one major store still holding payments to tie a 30% junk fee, right? Tim Sweeney wants to try to knock down Steam so bad because they can't catch up to Steam. They can't, right? Now, obviously, he's not suing them for $900 million, but he's
getting the country of England to do it for him.
Yeah, right. So I just think it's funny, right? Steam, it's like these corporate a-holes, let's just call them, okay? They think that we, the consumers, don't like good things, right? They're like, no, you don't like Steam because they give you refunds and all the things, and they're for the people, right? You want to hate them because they're taking 30% away from the developers.
You guys have been taking 30% regardless. Who remembers how much normal games were? We already figured this out. When you bought a game from a store, right? The percentage of the sale that went to the third party was like $22 or $18, right? That's almost 30% goes to somebody else before. It's the same. Now the game is digital, no book, no box, no disc, no nothing. And they still take 30% and they're still crying. It makes no sense, bro. It makes no sense. It's the same cut that's always been.
Well, I think it's funny because it's like owning a business and complaining that the landlord's charging you rent, right? Like they take a percentage of your business because you have to make money.
The argument is they're saying that Steam, let's say Steam sells a game for $40, and then you have an outside person buy keys from
Sure.
Steam, and then those people that buy the keys should sell it for whatever they want to sell it for. But
Right.
they're saying that Steam says that you can't sell those keys for under what we sell. That's the argument that they're saying.
Right, that's the manufacturer's suggested retail price.
Right. That's what they're saying. Right. But you're not there's no contract that states that if I buy the product from you and now I have the product to sell to somebody else, that says what I can sell the product for.
Right. You sell it for whatever you want.
They can sell the product for whatever the fuck they want.
Right. They can sell $10 more, $10 less, whatever it is.
I need to hear this argument in court. I need to hear this, what they're actually trying to say, because what it sounds like is they're saying that Steam is trying to control the third-party vendors who buy keys from them, which doesn't make any sense at all, right? They're saying that they're controlling their market by not allowing third parties to sell the product below the price that Steam sets it for.
He says that for broadly allegates that the Valve unfairly prevents game makers from offering their product at a lower price on their other platforms and requires them to all add on content for games and purchase on Steam, also purchased through Steam, and that Valve's excessive commission. As a result, it's inflated prices of UK customers. Valve had argued that the suit should not be allowed to proceed in collective action, functionally similar to the class action lawsuit, but also a competition appeal tribunal disagreed, ruling earlier this week. Right. So basically they're saying that they're charging too much for the stuff, even though Steam doesn't take a full 30%. They actually, the more you sell of your game, the less percentage they take. Right. So they take the chunk. And then if you sell more than that, then they take less of a chunk. And then
no, I get it though, but I need to hear the argument out in the open. They're trying to say whatever they can to get Steam under a bad light because they need Steam to fail.
Right. Instead of rising up, they want to lower them down. Right.
Yes,
they want to lower them down.
Compete. We get this, right? But everyone understands that the money that was used for the cut for before is still there. That money is still part of the price that you are paying for the game. Except the difference is that there's no product. It's all digital. Right? You're not paying for shipping. You're not paying for anything. So the cut sure, we could argue that the cut is too much. Maybe 30% might be too much. I mean, maybe 13% or 18% should be plenty. All you're doing is holding a digital product.
Right.
The part that I can't understand, and this is the part that I don't understand enough of the laws in the Wild West that is the gaming environment, right? If I'm a developer and I'm making my own game, right? I own the game. I made the game. It's me. It's my IP. It's already been filed. It's ours, right? Explain to me a digital product that a developer owns has to go to somebody else, like he's trying to sell fruit in a store, and he has to give it to somebody else to sell because he's not allowed to sell it. I don't understand the premise. Now, you could say that Steam is so widely known that for us not to put it on Steam, we can't sell the product. But if I'm following you online and Saber makes a game and I know Saber is selling the game, why do I need to go to Steam to buy Saber's game? Why doesn't Saber just sell his game?
Well, the problem with that is like what's happening with Hightail right now, right? Hightail is in early access and they didn't put it on Steam. You can't get it on Steam. You have to go through their site to get it. I'm assuming, and I don't know for a fact, but I would assume that it costs a lot of money to, put it up there and sell it because they're not providing the launcher, right? So like when I click on Hightail, it's another emblem on my thing that I'm downloading. It's not from a third party thing. It's from their site. Okay. So just for convenient factor, if every game comes out and they have their own thing, what Steam does, it makes it convenient because it's in one location. That's what Epic's trying to do. Hence why there's GOG and there's a whole bunch of other like launchers that you can do, right? Because if Epic's here, Steam's here. Steam's convenient. Epic's not convenient because I have to go out of Steam to click on this launcher, right? If I had to do that for every single game, even though it makes a shortcut on your desktop and you can launch that game just from that thing, Okay. That's the problem. They make their own launchers. And I think that's what's cost money because they have to put it up and run it on servers. Hightail's putting it on, they're throwing the servers on other platforms. You can get servers for your own independent servers.
I need somebody in the industry to explain it to me.
No, but I'm telling you, that's what I think it is. It's because it costs more money up front for a small developer, and they're not going to do that. So they'd rather go with Steam, and Steam's providing them an area. This is what I was saying before. A guy who owns a building, okay, that's renting out spaces in his little shopping plaza is convenient because he already built the building, right? He already built the building. You're coming in and taking a storefront in that shopping plaza, okay? If you don't want to do that, cool. You could go build your own building and get the permits and get the stuff over there.
But
and
we're not talking about buildings anymore.
I understand that, but that's basically what it is. You have to digitally build the infrastructure behind your game so people can play your game off of your website or whatever it is. And if the smaller companies don't have that, then they have to go somewhere else and they'll take a small percentage of that.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. I don't know how you can make a product and then not be able to functionally activate the product from your own.
Where you got to store it somewhere.
Store what? The file?
Files. Yeah.
The file that they just copy and send out?
Like the files are on your hard drive. Like you have a game. Yeah. You have to store it.
What are we talking about?
It's the infrastructure behind digitally wise.
It's
not physical. It's not a physical store. It's not a physical shelf. But
this is why I need somebody in the industry to explain this to me because it doesn't sound correct in my own head. You can't tell me that a 40 gig or 100 gig file on a hard drive.
Right. It's not like there's 1,000.
That's now being sent out. Someone purchased it.
Right. It's just
someone purchased it.
Exactly. I get what you're saying.
Like, what are we talking about why I have to get another person involved to send a file to somebody else?
Because you have to do all the marketing and stuff. That's what Steam is. Steam, when you go onto Steam, they're marketing it for you. They put it on the page. They do the stuff. They're doing the marketing. They're selling it. And for what they're doing, because there's 1 million people on the platform, it made $1.6 billion last month or whatever it was. Okay. Because there's that many people, they're taking a fee. Same as Jeff Keighley taking a price and putting it $100,000 for a spot so 171 million people can see it.
We all understand that there needs to be a middleman. That's how the whole country runs. What I'm trying to say is we got rid of the middleman by getting rid of GameStop and getting rid of any place that sold a box that had a game in it. Now we got rid of the middleman. I have the product.
Yep.
It doesn't exist anywhere except on my hard drive. And yet now you're saying we need another middleman to do the same shit digitally that we were doing physically before.
Yep.
And nobody has any questions. I don't understand.
It's stupid. I agree. I'm just telling you, it's like a broken business model.
So a dev can make everything about the game, starting from the
right.
The laws to make it.
They just can't give it to the player.
All the way to the end. But the last bit to actually sell the game, I got to involve a whole other company. Otherwise, I can't do it. I don't understand. That makes no sense to me.
I mean,
zero sense.
Why can PC players sail the high seas and get the game for free, but you have to pay Xbox and PlayStation a fee to play the game? Do you know what I mean? It's old.
Now you're talking about licensing.
No, but it's old. No, it's old mentality trying to put the middleman there. That's what it is. They don't need these people, but you don't know that. So they still keep those people in place because they make an extra 20%. They make an extra 30%.
Whether or not I need to know that they need to be there or not is irrelevant. Just like it was irrelevant before.
It's irrelevant
when I bought a game from GameStop or from Target or from wherever I bought the game from, the middleman got their cut. I bought the game.
Correct. That's irrelevant for you, but not irrelevant
for
the
questions.
But not irrelevant.
Now we're doing
for
the
developer.
Same thing.
Yeah, but it's not irrelevant for the developer. You're saying you don't give a shit about it. That's fine. But the story is the guy's suing them for $900 million because he's a developer, and he's saying that this is why it's
no. Epic's not the developer. He's upset that
no, not Epic. The guy in the UK that's suing.
No, it's a tribunal that's suing. It's not one guy. It's a conglomerate of people that are suing. It's not one guy. The argument is that Steam is controlling the cut. Nobody can sell it for less than that. This is what I want to hear in court, right? Never mind the fact that they take 30% or 25%. I just want to know why any of you are taking any money. Right. Now, if you take a cut because you have faster servers that download quicker? Because I have to. I don't know. I don't know.
I think
A file. I don't know how fast it takes you to transfer a file, but I don't get it, man. I don't get it.
It's exactly like if you want a refund, Steam is that middleman to give you that refund, right? They're that safety net. They're the ones doing the advertisement. They're also the backers that also can give you the refund. Where if you went third party, it's going to be really hard to get a refund. But Steam does.
Yeah,
like, that's what they're there for.
But that's all an illusion, because I could say to you, right? I could say to you, if I use my credit card and I buy a product, from wherever, and that product doesn't work the way it works intended, right? Then I call my credit card company and I say, hey, listen, I bought the product from such and such store. The product didn't work. I have the things to return it. They won't accept the return. I would like a chargeback. My bank then goes and says, the customer's not paying for this because this, that, and the other thing,
right? And
we're going to move on. Now, you want Steam to be in that position where I'm in trouble, I have a problem, and I'm going to call Steam to give me the refund? Like, that's the part I don't understand. Like,
well, if you go through the bank,
what
you have
is
to wait.
The box? What is the box that we're buying from?
Right, you would have to wait a certain period of time, because then the bank would have to contact them, make sure that they got the thing, and so on. Where Steam says, you bought it, we understand what's going on, refund, because they're making so much money off of other people saying they are a bank.
Oh, I understand. I understand what 30% of everything is.
Yeah,
it's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. 30% of everything is a lot of money. What I'm trying to say is, I don't understand the point where somebody makes a product digitally and can get all the way to the end, but then needs a different storefront or different thing to put the digital product in order to sell it in the world where everybody sells themselves online, right? If somebody sells something online, it's their business. I'm selling shit online. It's a digital product. Maybe I'm selling digital books, right?
I'm selling digital content now, right?
They're going to me. I have an advertisement, or I'm on Amazon as a sub seller, and then Amazon takes a cut. I see that. I see that part of it. But now we're talking about 2026, where the developer has shit online 24/7. They have their own website, their own Reddit, their own everything. I know the company direct. I know the guy who sells it. Why am I going to go through somebody else to make the purchase when I can purchase directly from that guy who is selling the product?
If you know the guy that's selling it, then you could buy it. But most of the time, to get out there for marketing purposes, they would have to put it to somewhere where people are playing games.
There has to be some type of ridiculous law in place that causes this to happen, because otherwise, under normal circumstances, this makes no sense. To bring in a third party to sell a product that I made from scratch makes no sense.
But this is why Hightail's not on Steam. One, because they don't have to give 30% to Steam. They're just selling the games directly. So that's 30% more that's coming to that.
Oh, no, I 100% agree with you, Justin. I 100% agree with you. They're geniuses. But remember, it's the same cut. It's the same cut. Whether I sold a product physically or digitally, the cut's the same.
I bring him up all the time. Eric July, right? He took the comic book model of what used to be, hey, we should print 10 million books, and we only send 7 million, and we have 3 million left over. We don't know what to do with, right? Instead, he's going direct to the consumer. Direct to the consumer.
How many do I need?
Right. 3 million people buy it. 3 million are printed. There's no waste. There's no garbage. There's no nothing.
That's correct.
That's right. That's exactly what he's doing. They could do that right now with the game industry, but they choose not to, because they're.
Where's the independent comic book seller that sells digital comic books or whatever? Where's his cut? My God, the universal collapse if he doesn't get his cut.
That's exactly right. But that's what it is. It's the gaming industry has this old, antiquated middleman that doesn't need to be there, just like the comic book industry does. But he's not using that. He's using his own thing. He set it up to direct to consumer.
Yeah. So where's that guy for digital devs? I want to know.
Someone can do it. They just choose not to.
I got to find some people's names. I got to call some people. There's no way that this is working like this. It's just not. It's not possible.
I think people just don't want to do it. I think they have to use
what?
That's what I'm saying.
Do what? What are they doing?
They have to go through
what
Steam.
Does Steam do? When you look at Steam, I'm looking and I see a picture of a game on Steam. I see the picture. I click on it, and then it shows me the title of the game. It shows me a little blurb, a paragraph, and then if you're lucky, there's a little trailer. And I'm sure the trailer was made by the devs. It wasn't made by Steam. It was made by the devs. You watch the trailer. Game was cool. and then Steam shows you the price. What part did the dev can't do? I
mean, here you go.
Does anybody else? Am I fucking crazy?
Hold on.
Somebody else explain to me what the fuck's going on right now.
I mean, look at what Fake Wizard's doing with the Portal, Fake Wizard Portal, right? Where he's showing independent games. He's not taking any cut or anything. He's just showing you free to play games, like not free to play games. He's showing you where the game.
I am not understanding.
He shows you.
What are we talking about, man?
He's telling you about independent games and stuff like that, where you can go buy them. Yeah.
There's got to be some fucking loophole or rule that states it has to be sold to a third party. It's the only way it happens. Because if there's not a rule about this under some kind of stupid law in the gaming industry somewhere, that this makes zero sense. Right? The fact that Steam's even being sued for being a middleman is hilarious to me. Now you're saying that the other guy, here's the best part of it. Here's the best part. Your system is so much shittier than Steam that you going over to the developer himself and going, "Hi, I'm not Steam. I'd like to sell your games on my platform." Right? Would that be okay? Somehow that doesn't even work. They don't even want to give you the game to sell. Right. They only want to go to Steam. What the fuck are you talking about? What am I selling? It's a fucking digital file. What are we talking about?
I agree with you 100%. It's just that I'm just trying to give you the side of what I think
is a stroke.
It's just antiquated. It is. It's just stupid.
It's antiquated because there's not a fucking box to sell. It's fucking a file.
Right. You should just be able to just
go
there and buy the game.
Right. It must, Mr. C, it must say somewhere that developers can make a game. They just can't sell their game. They must move their digital product to a storefront.
Here's
storefront
a perfect
sell products. And my name's John Smith from 1875, and that's how things work.
This is the same thing that happens in the streaming world with movies and TV shows, right? Like the old school television was 30-minute show, 22 minutes of an actual episode because there was 6 minutes of commercials, right? Or 8 minutes of commercials, right? Well, they have their own streaming service now. So there is no advertisements on the streaming service because they're getting direct to the consumer, right? You're just paying the subscription model to watch the thing, right? But for some reason, their videos are still recorded at 22 minutes or 44 minutes if it's a half-hour show or hour show, instead of making it a half-hour show or an hour show, because they put it in there
the antiquated rules of old television.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
100% I get it. So what do we got to do? Do we have to execute these motherfuckers? What has to happen in order to move forward? What are we talking about?
It's so stupid. It's like, why am I watching an hour show, but it's only 44 minutes on a thing that I've already paid for? Makes no sense.
Why?
It is what it is. Like I said,
why are you saying film a show for 22 minutes when there's no film and it's just digital?
Right.
Digitally record a movie or show for a half an hour exactly, and then miraculously you can just add commercials in there in the beginning and the end.
Right. Yeah, I get it.
What are we talking about?
The next thing,
I can't wait to have lawyers argue this. I want this to be televised. I want lawyers talking about this shit in court. I want to see it. All right.
Well, the next thing I want to talk about is, I'm a little confused by this, right, Sarge? Because I'm
going to put my head in the sink. I'll be right back.
All right. So, chat, what I'm confused about here is that we as gamers, we want to love the games that come out, right? We want to love the games, and we see the games and we're like, oh my God, this looks amazing. And we're so sold on the games and what it looks like. And this morning I said it a little bit with Pearl Abyss's Crimson Desert, right? So I want to get Sarge's opinion. I'll say it when he gets back. But it's like, we're trying to sell ourselves that this game is not real. Yet everything about the game that we've seen looks real, right? So, all right. So I want to get your opinion on this, Sarge, right? Because we're very, cynical, and we're very hesitant on buying things.
I'm not cynical. I'm a realist.
Okay. Realist, whatever. Cynicism is big with us, right? So as things come out, we look at it and go, it looks good. I'm not buying it. But this game is coming out in a month's time, which is Pearl Abyss's Crimson Desert. Let me play some footage of this in the background here. Okay. This thing is coming out. Okay. And everything about this game, right? This is not like the day before where they didn't show anything. This is not like Highgard where they showed you a trailer and they come out on day one. Pearl Abyss, who's known for Black Desert Online, which a lot of people don't like Pearl Abyss because what the microtransactions and stuff like that, right? This game was supposed to be a online MMO. It was supposed to be like a sequel to Black Desert Online. They went back to the drawing board. It's been in development for like 10 years, and they made it a single player game. Okay. And since they've started showing this, it comes out in March 19th, so about a month and a half away. This is not a game where they haven't shown you gameplay. They just haven't been showing you trailers. They've been showing you gameplay trailers. They've been deep diving, showing you the gameplay. This particular one that came out today shows the fighting mechanics and the progression system. They're showing you the world events. They're telling you about stuff in this game. And yet there's this group of people that are like lost. And they're like, I don't know if this is real. And it's like, this is not what the other games like Day Before showed or other games in the past that showed you a game. They're like, this is not. Like the game went gold a month and a half early. Okay. It's given streamers a month early to play the game. So when the embargo lifts, they can talk about the game and they have plenty of time to review it and talk about it. Right. They're showing you each week now. They're showing you leading up to the thing. Hey, this is what the game is. This is what it's going to happen. But yet some people are looking at this now. Again, I'm skeptical of a lot of stuff. I'm like, hey, you know what? Don't look at Skull and Bones. Skull and Bones. Don't trust this. It's not going to. I don't get that feeling from this, but a lot of people just don't trust it. I don't understand it. Can you tell me why they don't trust it?
Whose fault is that? What do you mean they don't trust them? We've been lied to for the last 10 years about every fucking thing that they've ever made. So one game comes out and it looks too good to be true and people are going to question it? No shit. No shit they're going to question it.
Yeah, but they're showing stuff of it.
I don't care what they show. I don't care if they show aliens on the moon and we landed and shook their hand. I don't care.
You don't believe it, right?
You don't know. You don't know anymore. We've been lied to for so long. We don't know.
I get that, but we get lied to because they see a vertical slice. Right? There's a lot of vertical slices here. If they're showing us a vertical slice,
they're showing me an advanced combat system that looks like Witcher 3 or Batman.
Yeah, but they're showing you a lot more than just.
He just did a Spider-Man move into the fort, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, are they mystical? Are they gods? What am I looking at? Because if I don't know the story. This is my point. I don't know what's going on. I see the guys doing all kinds of crazy shit. Looks badass. Right?
I know, chat. When you watch this on stream, it gets hitched up because of the program we're using. So it doesn't look like that for me. But I know it gets choppy for you guys.
So, right, how long is this game? Let's just do the basics. How long has the game been in development for?
I believe it was 10 years, but they changed development, I think, within 3 years of the development because it was supposed to be an MMO.
10 years in development.
It was supposed to be an MMO, but then they switched it, I think, at year 7 or year 3. Okay. So year 3, they changed it to a single-player game. Yeah,
single-player game. Okay. What's it run on? Do we know what it runs on?
I don't know what it runs on.
Okay.
Chat probably can answer that question for you.
Okay. So when's this coming out?
March 19th.
March 19th. So a little over a month. So my next question would be, is it PC only?
No, it's all consoles, including Mac, and it's on the Epic launcher.
What I'm looking at right now is going to be on console.
Yeah, Xbox and PlayStation.
Okay.
And it's a Play Anywhere title on Xbox, meaning if you buy it on Xbox or Microsoft, you can play it through the cloud. You can play it on your mobile phone. You can play it whatever.
I'm already feeling the hive start to come. You're telling me that this is going to run on consoles.
I mean, I think it'll run on the consoles. I don't think it'll run at 60 frames per second.
Let's not even bring in the frame. Let's not even bring in the frames, please.
Well,
the chat has already had enough with my ridiculousness tonight. We don't want to get them any more upset than I already did, right? Because if we start talking about FPS, they're going to start freaking out, right? Because this looks like a combat system of like Arkham and Witcher is what it looks like. You're fighting multiple guys. They don't all just jump you at once. You have combo moves, right? The graphics look pretty good, but once again, this looks like...
I think the developer at one point said it would run at 4K 30 and it would be 1080p 60. Am I wrong there, chat? Who the fuck games on a Mac? I mean, I did for many years, Dupless. That was before Mac games were actually a thing.
I mean, did he just Captain Caveman, bro?
He did. He Captain Caveman.
Did he just Captain Caveman right there?
Yeah,
go back. Go back.
Captain Caveman. He's got like a sword or
yeah.
No.
And now he just Captain Caveman that. Okay, so so here, sidebar. Did I ask this question? Maybe I asked it. Oh, we'll wait to the end. Do we have a price point?
It's $60, $70.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this: do you believe what you're seeing is the real game?
I do, actually. I do, only because of how many interviews they've done and how much content they're showing. Because if a game was trying to hide something from you, they would do it once. They would show you a vertical slice of the thing, and you would see that trailer for the next month and a half. But that's not what these guys are doing, right? These guys, it's 70. There you go, $69, right? That's not what these guys are doing, right? So if Pearl Abyss is trying to hide something, I think they're going about it the wrong way, because when the game comes out and you see all the stuff that you can do in these games, and then it comes out and you're like, well, yeah, it's exactly what they said it was, right? They're literally marketing this thing and telling you everything. Now, maybe it's too good to be true. Maybe. But if they do that, Pearl Abyss is done, right? They would get so much backlash because everything they're showing here would be a lie then.
What's the last game they did?
I think it's Black Desert Online. And that's where a lot of people are like, it's Pearl Abyss.
So you're assuming it's a single-player game with a lot of microtransactions inside it?
I don't think it's a lot of microtransactions inside it. I do think that there's an online access, and I have read something about it where they are putting an online thing afterwards. But like the game itself, I think is a full-fledged game, like The Witcher, like Skyrim, right? Like I believe it's one of those games. Now, are they going to sell microtransactions in there for better outfits? Probably. Okay, but does that affect the game or what you're seeing? I mean, look at this fucking giant metal pterodactyls that are flying in air. Like, just look at that scene for a second. Look at the vastness of this of the screen.
Well, this is my point. This is my point when you say this is going to be console. This is my point when I look at this. I
mean, Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to be on console. Red Dead Redemption 2, as Altern said, ran on console. Do you know what I mean? Krebsy says 30 wants Crimson Desert to succeed so he can get the Doki V on. Doki V is the other game they're working on, that weird game that was like an open world game.
I mean, I'm not saying that it's a lie. I allow the game to speak for itself. It looks like a lot to
it looks too good to be true, is what
it looks like a lot to take in. Now, we don't know. They're showing combat, but we don't know game systems yet, of course. Or is there a video on game systems? I'll look it up.
I think they showed game systems last time.
I'll take a look. I'll take a look at this, and I'll look at it for next week. We'll talk about it again, because I don't even know about this game. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, I know nothing about it besides what they've showed. Right? Remember,
so
I always say,
things,
like, give it that smell test. My gut doesn't look at this. Like when I look at Skull and Bones, I said, no, you got to stay away from that. When I looked at Cyberpunk, when it first, I said, don't get that which back then was the older system. I was like, don't get it for that. Get it for the new system, whatever. Right? I don't get that feeling with this. Now, obviously, I don't think it's going to run 60 frames. It might run 60 frames on the PlayStation 5 Plus or Pro. Maybe at 1080p 60 frames, but it'll probably go down to like 54 frames per second.
How many different characters are there?
There's 3 different characters.
Only 3?
Yeah, only 3.
Looks like there's more than 3. Maybe it's just the costumes that they're wearing. So I'm guessing 3 characters. So a heavy, a speedy, and an all around,
and a middle. Yeah. So
the
girl's like the fast,
speedy, yep.
The speedy, the orc character guy. He's like the brute. And then there's the main character in the middle, which is like the all around, I would assume.
Yeah.
And you're not this powerful. They say in the video that you build up with your progression as you go. So Yeah, so
Well, I don't see a lot of blocking. I see a lot of power moves, right?
probably pairing and stuff like that.
Yeah. I mean, listen. Let's go down the list. Pearl Abyss doesn't say a lot. They stay quiet. When they show stuff, they show stuff. So I'm not saying it's a lie, but
Z says one main, two other playable during specific points. So there you go.
So maybe I'll put them in the category where maybe they're like Saber, just on the MMO side. Like maybe they're a game company that knows what people are looking for, and they're really trying hard to do that. I would like to know size of the studio, budget. It's been a while. It's 10 years, man. That's a lot of years, man. So like, what do you got to sell on this game? You know what I mean? Like if it was a small studio and it was 10 years, maybe it's okay. You know what I mean? But if it's a decent sized studio in 10 years, it's a lot of money they need to be making for this.
Right.
Right. And if it's good enough to play long enough and you put the microtransactions in, maybe they make their money back sooner, but it's still up in the air.
I think the way they looked at it, and again, my speculation, I think Pearl Abyss looked at it and saw the pushback they got from their last game, even though they made a crap ton of money. It's a pretty good MMO, but it was very, very heavy microtransactions. And they said, well, wait a minute, what about if we make a single player game that we can put in stuff? And I think there's still going to be microtransactions in it. I don't think that's the thing. I mean, look, the pre-order is extra skins. So I'm assuming they're going to have more skins inside the game, going down the road. Again, does that affect me as a person if I buy this for $70 and I can't play through the game because I need that microtransaction? No. Now, if they start selling stuff like what was the other one? Dragon Age? No, what was the other one that came out? Was it last year, chat? Where they were charging for like fast travel and whatnot. Like if they start doing shit like that,
charging for fast travel,
yeah, good. then I can see there's a problem here. But I don't know. I don't get the feeling that this game is hiding something from us, especially since they're doing everything that you would want as a customer. Show us what the game looks like, right? I don't know.
Well, they're showing
Dogma. That's it. Dragon's Dogma. Thank you, Dark.
They're showing you gameplay, right?
They're showing you a lot of gameplay. It's not just one vertical slice of a guy moving really slow.
Well, maybe the combat thing's a big deal for them, and they're focusing on the combat.
Yeah, I think a lot of people might know. I don't know if there's a major story. I don't know. Well, they're gonna give us more information. They have one more overview like this before it comes out. They said so. All right. While we're waiting for questions to happen here, Sarge, I want to go over this real fast. This is a Star Wars mod that's in Starfield. Now, everyone gives Starfield crap because, well, Starfield, right?
Justly so.
But what's funny is that I think Bethesda gave us the platform where modders have made the greatest Star Wars game ever. Okay, because they just updated the Genesis mod, right? And basically, you go around now as Darth Jar Jar.
Darth Jar Jar.
Yeah, Darth Jar Jar. And you can walk, and they've made this game better than Starfield. Okay, but they used Starfield's foundation and made it into probably one of the greatest Star Wars games ever created, which is just mind-boggling to me. Okay, this is the best Star Wars game that's not a Star Wars game. Like, make it make sense, right? If you guys have questions, put it in the queue in front of your thing. We'll mark it down, and then we'll go through Q&A as we watch this video and stuff, right? This is mind-boggling to me, Sarge. I mean, obviously, I've known about this for a while, but now they just did their recent update. Let me go a little bit more, right? There's customization, obviously. There's different backgrounds and stuff, fully customizable by fans. Fans have created this.
Gotta love those fans.
And it's more. There's Jedi, Nomad, Bounty Hunter, right? So
Gungan tag along, love it.
So here we'll just look at some of the other, and obviously this is on PC, right? This is not on, but it's called Star Wars Genesis. And like I said, I think it's I watched some footage of this. It's probably the best Star Wars game out there, and it's not even an official Star Wars game. Like, everything about this is what Star Wars should be in a game.
Yeah.
But it's in Starfield, the game that everyone hates. So I wonder.
Everyone doesn't hate Starfield.
Well, no, but what I'm saying is,
Starfield was just underwhelming.
I wonder if people buy Starfield just so they can do this mod. They're like, yeah, I'm gonna buy this just so.
Well,
I can...
it's not they're gonna buy it because they want to play that version. They already have it and want something to do with it. So now they have something to actually do with it.
Like, I don't know, man. If they fix the problems with the empty spots, and there's like different factions and different things, which they're constantly updating this. Let me see if they have any mysterious stranger. You can take quests and stuff from him. Something to think about. I might go back. I mean, I got the game for free because it was given to me. It's on Game Pass, but I can't put mods on that. So I might have to go buy this on PC just so I can get the mods.
Have to?
I mean,
just
if I want to play Star Wars.
Spring sales around the corner, bro.
Well, of course, I'm not going to buy it full price right now.
Spring sales right around the corner. Starfield will be like $8. It'll be fine.
Well, there's also rumors that Starfield will be coming out on PlayStation in April sometime. I think it's like April 6th or something. It's claimed. We don't actually know if it's actually coming out then or not. Like, got the Naboo fighter in there. Do you have the actual Millennium Falcon inside there? Look at that. That was cool.
See, I think what needs to happen with MMOs is that the engines that build the MMO and how they're structured need to change. The floatiness and the health bar things always on the screen. An MMO of today should look like a single player game, but it's not. You know what I mean? Like, that's where we should be with MMOs at this point. And I'm not saying it has to be like 10,000 guys on the screen, right? Like, maybe you limit it to so many people on a screen, and maybe have different I forget what it's called, different servers. Like, so let's say there's maybe
instances.
300 instances, like there's 300 people on the planet, but they're not all in the same town at the same time, so it looks like a giant name fest where they're just names.
You're basically
names everywhere
describing
on top of
Fallout 76 and No Man's Sky. I mean, that's what they are. They're like little 24, 32 people that can be on the screen with you all at once.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, combat systems, like MMOs need to evolve. Maybe the hardware is not there yet. I think the hardware is there, but MMOs in general need to evolve.
Yeah. Warframe, Destiny.
Well, they don't count Destiny as an MMO, right, Dark?
No, but these are games that are like light MMOs, basically. They've taken bits and pieces of what an MMO is and brought them into a smaller form factor. Yeah,
for me, the story doesn't keep me into an MMO anymore, and I never liked the combat. Yeah. I even have trouble spending more time in ESO because the combat's just too, it's floaty, right? Yeah. After playing like Space Marine 2 for combat, and then I'm going to some kind of float fest, running around, just running through guys and just doing some kind of spinny move, whatever. It's not the same, man.
Yeah. All right, chat. It looks like we got about 8 questions. You guys can keep submitting questions, and then let's go to Q&A. All right, we got question. Oh no, that's not a question. This is a question. Krebsy says, of Ubisoft's 17,000 employees, how many do you see leave this year? Do they go to Sandfall? Wasn't there an article that Sandfall said they don't want to grow too rapidly? I could have sworn there was something along the lines of that. So I don't think that many go. I'll say 5. They bring in like 5 new people because I think they said they don't want to grow too much. They know what they want and keep it small.
This is a combination of things altogether. You have the overhiring of the COVID era. There's too many people working in gaming because they thought it was going to last forever. You have the AI intervention where AIs are taking over certain people's jobs within the gaming industry, so you don't need as many more people. Companies are bloated. They have too many people working on games now anyway. So I mean, is 17,000 employees? How many people they have left?
Yeah, I believe that's all the total employees they have.
So
Yeah.
if let's just say this, like, how many games are they working on? Right? How many games is Ubisoft working on right now?
They're working on like 5, 6, I think.
5 or 6 games,
I think so.
right? So I think you need maybe 500 for each game. That's 3,000 people. You got 17K. You still got way too many people.
Yeah. Yeah,
Right? You got way too many people. Right? I don't know what to tell you, man. The stock's under $2. They haven't made a game. I can pretty much guarantee they're going to be coming out with Division 2 stuff this year. And they're probably going to come out with Division 3. Something. They have to release something.
Well, Division 3 is not coming out for a couple years. That's why they're doing the update for Survival for Division 2 and stuff. And they just did the anniversary edition for Division 1, which they did absolutely nothing different.
Yeah.
Like not even an upgrade. They just did it. Altered says, what can Epic Games Store add to make the store more attractive other than more Fortnite skins than buy the game on their store?
I mean, why don't you just look at what Steam does and try to do something similar? I don't understand how long it takes you to fix your store.
The bare minimum that they have to do is do everything that Steam is doing. Here's the bar. They have to match the bar. And then only then can they start competing with Steam.
Like, you don't want to actually do what they do. You just want to fight them in court. Like, just fucking find out what they're doing, find out the customer experience, and try to copy it a little bit and see how it works.
The problem is we're past this console war thing. If Epic becomes Steam and they go they've already tried this, right? They did with Borderlands 3 when it came out. It was exclusive only on Epic, right?
Sure.
They have to try to make it where it's like Nintendo versus PlayStation versus Xbox, where Epic's versus Steam and Steam's versus. But that's not what's happening anymore. It doesn't matter. The PC is the thing. Where I play the game on the PC doesn't fucking matter to me. I don't care if it's coming directly from the actual website like we were talking about before. I don't care if it's coming from Steam. I don't care if it's coming from back-end keys that I'm getting off the internet. I just want to play the game, right? So Epic, if they want to compete with Steam, they got to bring up their bar to at least meet Steam, but they can't do that. So they have to try to bring Steam down to their level, which is not going to happen. So I don't think there is something that they can do to make me go to their store to use their launcher. I mean, if I can get the game here or there, guess what? I'm going to go there because that's where all my other stuff is. Next one. Krebsy says, who do you think wins the Super Bowl, Patriots or Seahawks? Are boneless chicken wings or adult chicken nuggets?
Seahawks by 7, and Buffalo boneless chicken wings are not real chicken wings.
I don't give a shit about the Super Bowl this year. I'll say Seahawks by 3. And then boneless chicken wings.
There's no such thing as boneless chicken wings.
Yeah, there's
no bone.
Wing.
If there's no bone,
it's
no wing.
It's
not a wing.
If there's no bone, there's
this
no
isn't
wing.
hard, guys. I understand you want to live in the future where you think you can just make up shit. It's not a real wing.
Yeah, it's not considered a.
Oh, if you got a bucket of wings in the normal world, that means you had to kill about 14 chickens.
And by the way, an adult chicken nugget and a regular chicken nugget are both the same. A chicken nugget is an adult size, and also if it goes above a nugget, it's a tender.
A nugget is just pressed chicken meat into a shape.
All right, next one. Altered says, are you going to continue playing Space Marines 2 after you finish the campaign, and will you put the same amount of hours as you put into Helldivers 2? I don't see myself putting as much time as I did in Helldivers 2, only because looking at the thing yesterday, I can tell you that it's super grindy. I can tell it. I can tell already, because as you're running through the match, you can't go faster. Like there's little points that you have to stop at because they're trigger points. So they're like little walls, okay, to stop you from there. So it's not like, hey, I want to do like 10 matches tonight. You can't just run through it like you could in Destiny, where you could run through with strikes super fast. Right?
You can a little bit. The issue is,
so am I shaving off 10 seconds?
I don't know. I don't know 100%. I played 4 hours today.
Okay.
I played from the time that you logged off the show till about 3 or 4 o'clock. Right. So from what I played the heavy guy, and I got him to level 10.
Okay.
And to get into level 10 to be
10
about
in how many hours?
4 hours.
Okay.
4 hours. Now remember,
is it every time you go up longer to take each thing, or is it the
Yes,
same?
yes,
Okay.
yes.
So
to get to 20, it's probably going to take double that.
okay,
So
12
let's
hours to get to
let's
20.
assume
25 is
is 25 the max.
25 is max.
So
Yeah.
so let's call it 24 hours to get to level 25.
But then you can prestige multiple times.
Well, depending on what you want to do, if you want to level up the characters. Now, for me, if it's fun, right? I kind of like the siege. I think you should look at the siege. Right?
I'll try the siege too.
So
we can play after this.
I'm definitely going to level 3 characters. I'm going to level 3 characters. If it hooks me enough, I'll stay
level
longer.
Full 3 characters.
Yeah, 3 characters, 25. Because I know which characters I want to play.
Okay.
Right. So we'll see. All games get repetitive. I want, and from the missions that I play, bro, the things move around. The guys that attack you are different. So like I found maybe someone who plays it can tell me, when you find the gene seed, what does that do? Anyone who's played the game know what happens when you find the gene seed? Because when you pick it up, it acts as like the special thing in your special slot. So I can't pick up the Guardian relic anymore. I have to keep the gene seed, and that's all I can take. And if I have the gene seed, then I have to be able to finish the mission. I can't die. If I die, then I lose the gene seed. So what's the gene seed do? Because I didn't look it up.
I don't know.
Who's playing? Who can tell me? I know one of you know. I know one of you know. So anyway, yes, I'll be playing it after the campaign because you can't play the missions until you finish the campaign.
I'll play it after the campaign. I just don't think I'm going to put in 250 hours into it.
I mean, it really depends.
If I like what Sarge is saying,
right, it really depends.
Maybe I will, but as of right now, I don't see I see myself putting in 60 to 100.
Yeah, 60 would be no problem.
Yeah, 60 to 100 hours.
Even you casually playing it, even not on stream, 60 hours won't be a problem.
Yeah, I can see myself putting at least 60 hours because most of my games that I play that I like, I put an average 60.
I like I like the universe, and anytime I get to play some kind of 40K thing and actually a decent game, it's good. I'm in. That's why I like Dark Alliance. But no one wanted to play. I like Dark Alliance.
Next question is you're made the marketing lead to GTA 6 with the unlimited budget. What's interesting things do you do to market GTA 6? Rent all strip clubs in Miami. You are made the market. You are made the market lead. Oh, I made the market lead in GTA 6. Okay, unlimited budget. What interesting things do you do to market GTA 6? Rent strip clubs in Miami?
You got to be past that. You got to be able to do something else now.
First thing I do is I market. Not only do I market at the strip clubs in Vegas, but I also market on the big new Sphere that they have in Vegas. That's a must, right? You got to put that up there. So that's an unlimited budget there. 2, you get something in Times Square. Got to get Times Square. You get a nice little thing there. And then I purchase a deal with Coca-Cola. Okay. And I have Coca-Cola inside of Disney parks marketing Grand Theft Auto to all the kids inside. That's what I do with my unlimited marketing budget.
I probably would take like an old beat up cruise liner and turn it into a Vice City cruise line and have it go up and down the coast this summer.
Okay, just
right?
Cruises up the coast, yeah?
Yeah, like it's an empty ship just painted to look like it's from the video game, like a Vice City cruise ship. And that's how you advertise Vice City. You're driving up and down Florida, East Coast, looking like a Vice City cruise ship. I think that would work. Not the plane, because that's not... You got to go ridiculous. An old cruise ship that no one's using anymore, repainted, says Vice City on it. Drive it up and down the coast.
Salty says, "Oh wait, it's a bonus XP for the whole team, Sarge, providing you survive, so level up quicker." Yeah. So
the gene seed is?
Yeah. Jesse Max says provides additional experience points that find during operations. Only one is spawned on each mission and can appear numerous spawn points. Gene seed grants bonus XP. There you go.
Okay.
There you go. Next thing is With Iron Lug marketing 7 times the market, do we see more YouTube movies landing in theaters? Yeah, this is Markiplier, right? Markiplier's Iron Lug that he did. I was watching a video earlier today. I didn't watch the whole thing. I think it's cool what he was doing, but then again, I don't know if it works the same because look, making a movie is super hard. Doesn't Markiplier have like 38 million like subscribers? That's a lot of fucking subscribers. Okay, he knows his clientele. The part that I got to, he was talking about because he has that so many subscribers, he couldn't put it in like 3 theaters. He had to put it in like 50 theaters or whatever. I mean, it's a hard question to say or to answer because not every person can act. Not every person's got a good script. So him doing what he did and it's working out, like fantastic. It's working out for him. But the budget was super, super low. Hollywood's not going to do that. Hollywood doesn't know how to do that. Hollywood loves spending money because they have to spend the money. They blow money on the stupidest shit. Like, trust me, they blow money on the stupidest shit because they have to. They have a nesting egg back here that they've got a whole bunch of money from somebody, and they're like, oh well, this movie's going to cost $150 million. Well, he's willing to give us $250 million, so let's raise that up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Because they want to have it on the books. And they try to pocket as much of that money as possible. Okay, so I don't see it happening more. But as we were saying earlier with Eric July with the comic books, I do see more people distributing movies and stuff like this. I mean, why wouldn't you? There was an article that we didn't get to. There's like 28 billion views a month or some shit, or 20 billion views a month. It's like absolutely insane. Or is it 2 billion? I forget what it is.
No, it's 20.
Regardless, it's a ridiculous amount of people. So yeah, I do see other YouTubers doing what you're saying, but I don't know if it's a mass thing that everyone goes through. What do you think, Sarge?
I think YouTube's already making too much money. They're going to become some kind of ridiculous corporate powerhouse.
Well, he made this inside the theaters. He made a shit ton of money. He was number 1 in the theaters this weekend.
No, I get it. I think we're in a sketchy part of the whole movie industry right now. We don't know which way it's going to go. Like, we don't know whether going to the theater is going to remain a thing or budget's going to remain the same, or is it going directly to home? Like, it's going to be a big deal. I think we're in a no man's land at the moment. I mean, he might have got lucky. Right? That's
well, if it's a good movie,
that's not the norm.
Make a game, sell a game. Make a movie, sell a movie.
Yeah, I know. I get it.
Again, if he was a nobody, I don't think
now.
No, but I'm saying if his channel is like 13, 14, 15 years old or whatever it is on YouTube, he's built up that clientele. People know who he is. If it was a new YouTuber putting this stuff out there, obviously he's not doing this, right?
Right.
So, next question is Just Enough says, what is 30% of Infinity? It's a shit ton of money, is what it is.
Yeah,
it's a shit ton of money.
Well, 30% of Infinity is basically Infinity.
Yeah, it's just a shit ton of money.
Yep.
And the last question is Steam ever going to release their console?
Might get delayed. I heard rumors it's delayed because they can't get chips. They can't get a decent amount of chips to sell.
I think
and they don't want to sell. They don't want to sell it in limited quantities.
I think that's what they're going to do, though. They don't want to, but I think they will. Just like back when COVID hit and they were limited for PlayStation 5s and stuff like that. I think they'll do it because they want to get it out there. Which then, if it gets out there and they believe in their product, if it gets out there, it's in limited quantities. Well, then people are like, oh, I can't wait for the next, and it just keeps scaling.
Well, you're not talking about the Scabber thing.
No. I'm talking about the company themselves.
Right.
Yeah.
You're talking about if it's a good product and people will be waiting for the
next product and it's limited quantity. They're like, oh man, I hear good things about it. When they're ready to come out, then they'll sell even more. Is what I'm saying. All right. Let's see what chat's saying real fast before we take off for the evening. We already got that one. Eric says, I just want a new Steam controller. I think they have one, right? That one's coming out. The new one's coming out with it.
I thought that was coming out regardless.
Yeah, I don't think
you think it's coming out paired up with the system only.
I think it's.
I thought
system.
I thought summer they were selling that controller. I thought that was going to happen.
Krebsy says random, but Iron Lung used over 80,000 gallons of fake blood for the movie. Oh, nice. That's a weird stat to have. Sure, it was fake. Sarge says. All right. Xbox Game Pass, get it, says loving the show as always. Should we get it twice a week going through the news? We only do this once a week. If you want the news, Xbox Game Pass, get it. You can come in the mornings or watch my past broadcast. We do that Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning till noon Eastern. But this show, Sarge wouldn't grace me with his presence to do this show. I've tried to talk to.
I don't think I would have enough stuff to say, honestly.
I talked to Sarge and asked him if he would do the morning show with me every day, and he's like, no. So you get this. You get just Generation X gaming on Thursday nights. So, but I appreciate it.
Limited quantity, man.
Yeah. So that's going to do it for Generation X Gaming, the weekly podcast that goes over a few of the top stories in the past week, and we rant along the way. We do this live Thursday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern. You can watch the past broadcasts over on YouTube. And also on Spotify as well. We appreciate you very much. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Appreciate you. We do a show, like I said, Monday through Thursday on this channel in the mornings from 10 o'clock in the morning till noon Eastern. We're off for the weekend. I'll do some uploads throughout the weekend for the main channel. Appreciate you guys very much. You guys have a great rest of your day, evening, or night. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
Game on, guys.
Retro meets the now and here. Gaming tales you need to hear. Laugh and shout and sometimes sneer. Memories from all those years. Console wars and secret tips. Tips and tricks from pixel trips. News that pours from gaming sips. Critical